Chapter 261. P.S. Thank you to Zero Wind Friend Zero for your tip, and to Ruffled Ambiguous Little You for her monthly vote. As night fell, the bonfire was burning brightly, illuminating the night. The entire convoy stopped to rest in a forest near the official road. Some were busy setting up tents. Some were busy gathering firewood to cook. Everyone was busy in an orderly manner, looking very comfortable. That beast tamer actually went out tonight. That person is quite strange. He rarely gets off the carriage. In the past few days, he hasn't gotten off the carriage at all. I really don't know what he is doing. Of course, strange people have strange ways of doing things. If it wasn't for that beast tamer's help, who knows where we would be now. I like to hear that. Our young miss is kind enough to let that brat get on the carriage. The surrounding servants gathered in twos and threes, discussing in low voices, especially when the young miss was mentioned. All of them had a look of admiration. Beside the forest, the convoy was in a circle, carrying large and small goods. It was the most common convoy in the Sky-Sea dynasty. Little Min, is that Master Shuang Mu still in the carriage? A soft voice came from a unique carriage. Outside the carriage, a girl in red opened the curtain and climbed up nimbly. I think I saw him get off the carriage just now. I don't know where he went. Little Min in red chattered. I think that brat is not that powerful. No matter how I look at it, it feels like he is lying. Little Min, you are talking nonsense again. In the carriage, a girl in white sat. Her eyes were like autumn water, and her brows were like willow leaves. She gave off a peaceful feeling. Master Shuang Mu has helped us a lot. If you dare to talk nonsense in the future, I will marry you off. Little Min realized that she had said something wrong. She pouted and said, pitifully, Young miss, I said something wrong. This servant will go and see if Master Shuang Mu is back. When Rushua shook her head, this little girl, who was Master Shuang Mu, he was Lin Fei, the one who had played a trick. He wanted to try his luck. That day his luck was good, and he met a convoy heading to the Sky-Sea dynasty's imperial capital. After curing the demon beast, he made up an excuse to join the convoy and go to the Sky-Sea dynasty's imperial capital for free. I've rested for a few days. Let's have a good meal tonight. Lin Fei returned from the outside with a low-level rabbit demon in his hand. It was similar to the wild rabbits on Earth, but it was much larger in size. When he held it in his hand, it weighed no less than 50 kilograms. Returning to the forest, Lin Fei quickly cleaned up the rabbit demons. At the same time, he found a large pile of dry firewood and roasted it on the fire. Lin Fei was very good at barbecuing. As the rabbit demon was constantly being rotated, its color gradually changed. Soon, its color turned from tender yellow to golden yellow. Lin Fei took out a knife and cut a hole in the rabbit demon's body. At the same time, he took out the seasonings he found in the Demon Beast mountain range and sprinkled them on. Sizzle, sizzle. As the golden yellow meat oil dripped down, the firewood below shot up. I can eat to my heart's content this time. The little thing at the side was also drooling. It looked like it couldn't wait to take a bite. As for the other King Kong, it was also very excited at this time. It was no different from dancing. It smells so good. Soon, the people in the camp smelled the fragrance. The people who were making dinner subconsciously sniffed because the smell was too fragrant. They couldn't help but want to take a bite. When they saw that it was Master Shuang Mu who was barbecuing, they helplessly suppressed the desire in their hearts. When they looked at the things they were burning, they immediately lost their appetite. They hated that they didn't have the skills of the other party. Master Shuang Mu, I didn't expect that you not only know how to deal with monsters, but also know how to barbecue. Your skills are really good. While Lin Fei was focused on barbecuing, a person walked over from the side. Hearing this voice, he didn't raise his head and focused on staring. Because, from the beginning, he didn't like this person called Lei Wei. As for not liking him, there was no reason at all. Lin Fei was such a person. If he didn't like him, he didn't like him. His impression of him was very bad. Lei Wei had a gloomy aura on him, since he continuously comprehended the wind and metal concepts. Lin Fei liked freedom more and more. It seemed that that was his true self. On Earth, he had to be busy every day. There was a mountain pressing down on his head all the time. It was suffocating. Life was very tiring and depressing. After being reborn in the mysterious heavenly continent, Lin Fei gradually let go of himself. He had a hot-blooded impulse to walk the martial world with his sword. Perhaps this was a man's dream. Lin Fei was very satisfied with his life now. He didn't need to flatter others. He didn't need to act according to others' wishes. He didn't need to worry about his life. He didn't need to worry about time. He was carefree. Mystic cultivators had a lifespan of 200 years. Mystic cultivators had a lifespan of 300 years. Every martial artist didn't need to worry about time. Lin Fei was still barbecuing the meat, ignoring Lei Wei. Lei Wei, who was beside him, had already shown his displeasure. If it wasn't for others being here, he would definitely teach this kid a lesson. A mere monster beastmaster was really not worthy of Lei Wei's attention. Kid, I'm giving you face by calling you Master Shuang Mu. Don't think that being a monster beastmaster is a great job. Lei Wei's face darkened. I'm giving you face by barbecuing the meat. As long as I'm happy, I'll arrange a good position for you in the capital. It's just a matter of a word. Lei Wei had indeed taken a fancy to the fragrant barbecued meat. He thought that once he asked, the kid would definitely send the meat over and curry favor with him. Fortunately, he could find a good job in the capital. When the time came, he could make Miss Wen happy. That would be just a matter of a word. Unexpectedly, this kid didn't know what was good for him. Lin Fei didn't even look at him. If you want to eat it, just find someone to cook it for you. I don't even have enough barbecued meat for myself. Lei Wei almost spat out a mouthful of blood. If I could cook it, why would I come to you? How much is the barbecued meat? I'll buy it. That should be enough, right? Lei Wei said, 10 low-grade mystic spirit stones should be enough, right? 10 low-grade mystic spirit stones for barbecued meat. Anyone who heard that would immediately sell the meat. It wasn't easy to find such a rich man. Lin Fei shook his head. Not selling. 50 low-grade mystic spirit stones. Lei Wei said again. Not selling. Lei Wei said fiercely. 100 low-grade mystic spirit stones. Lin Fei turned around. I said, I'm not selling. If you really want to buy it, bring me 100,000 low-grade mystic spirit stones. Otherwise, scram as far as you can. Don't hinder me from barbecuing. Lei Wang was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. A normal beast tamer dared to talk back to him. He wanted to slap this guy to death. He kept telling himself, don't be angry, don't be angry. A bastard isn't worth getting angry over. You've got guts. Let's wait and see. Lei Wei left in a huff. Lin Fei continued to focus on barbecuing. So pretentious. The two guys on the ground nodded. Their gazes quickly landed on the barbecued meat. Humph, humph. You want to use my barbecued meat to please that young lady. Do you really think I don't know? Lin Fei sneered in his heart. These are all tricks I played a long time ago. I didn't expect to embarrass myself in front of him. But then again, that chick is really pretty. Quiet and gentle, especially those long legs. Hee hee. Miss Wen, I asked someone to make this. Do you want to try it? Outside the carriage, Lei Wei held a plate in his hand and tried to curry favor with Wen Wuxue. Wen Wuxue walked down in a white dress with a faint smile on her face. Like the warm winter sun, she warmed people's hearts. Thank you, Wen Wuxue said politely. Then she couldn't help but sniff. She made a very cute gesture and walked over. Despicable brat. Lei Wei held the plate, and the situation became awkward. He hated that brat to death. You're a beast tamer. Why did you have to learn to barbecue? Is this bullying? Lei Wei hated himself. Why didn't he learn this skill back then? Miss, that's Master Shuang Mu barbecuing. Little Min giggled. It smells so good. When Rushua smiled. Little girl, you're hungry again. Little Min curled her lips. No way. When Rushua smiled but didn't say anything. Master Shuang Mu, am I disturbing your barbecue? After smelling the fragrance that appeared next to him, Lin Fei regretted choosing this place. Wasn't this clearly looking for trouble? I don't mind. Lin Fei smiled. How could Lin Fei refuse a pretty girl? Besides, when Miss Wen walked over, he knew that young Master Lei Wei probably hated him to death. He had to admit that when Rushua was very pretty, her name was also very good. Any man wouldn't mind having a pretty girl sitting next to them. It was pleasing to the eyes when they were bored. When Rushua sat down, she found that Master Shuang Mu was immersed in the barbecue business again. She couldn't help but feel a little dissatisfied. Although she wasn't a peerless beauty and would attract attention everywhere she went, she seemed to lose her beauty in front of Master Shuang Mu. Am I really that ugly? Am I not as good as the barbecue? The ancients said that women were a very special kind of animal. When people paid attention to them, they would think that they were there for their looks. When people didn't pay attention, they would worry about their gains and losses. Am I not pretty? Don't they have the urge to take a look? That was when Rushua's mentality. Lin Fei focused on the barbecue. When Rushua watched quietly in front of the fire. It's time to eat. When Lin Fei saw Rushua's expression, his heart skipped a beat. When did he offend Miss Wen? Before his rebirth, Lin Fei spent a lot of effort on women. Therefore, when he saw Rushua's expression, he vaguely felt a murderous aura. This murderous aura was not the aura of a killer, but a woman's unique aura. Miss Wen, look at you. You must be hungry. Try my barbecue. You probably haven't tried it before. This kind of barbecue requires concentration. Otherwise, it will lose its flavor. Chapter 262. Ever since that night's barbecue, Lin Fei and Wen Ruxu had become much closer. Of course, this was a very bad thing in someone's eyes, and he hated Lin Fei to death. In the blink of an eye, 7 days had passed in the Tianhai dynasty. They were not far from the imperial capital of the Tianhai dynasty, 3 days at most. If Lin Fei used his movement skills, he would not need so much time. After spending so much time in the Monster Mountain range, he naturally wanted to enjoy himself. There was no need to rush to the market. At noon on this day, the convoy was traveling on the official road. Lin Fei sat in the carriage. It was very spacious, but it was enough for him alone. For him, a place to sleep was enough. The carriage did not need too much space. These days, Lin Fei was in a very good mood. In the past, Lin Fei had not had a good night's sleep. Ever since he was in the Tianhai dynasty, he could at least sleep until he woke up naturally every day. However, these happy days only lasted for a few days. When he reached the Tianhai dynasty, he would not have such free time anymore. It was not a good thing to have a good night's sleep. Hey, why is there a murderous aura ahead? Lin Fei, who had been condensing his spiritual power, suddenly opened his eyes. Ever since he could control 72 longswords, Lin Fei's spiritual power had increased a lot, and his perception had also expanded. Originally, a mystic adept's perception was only about 1 or 2 li. Lin Fei's perception was especially strong, and could extend to about 15 li. This number surprised even Lin Fei himself. Later, he asked about it and found that everyone's range was 1 or 2 li. 3 or 4 li was considered strong, and 15 li was very strong. Within a range of 15 li, Lin Fei could immediately see everything clearly with a single thought. Looking at the number of people, they seemed to be waiting for something. Could it be Miss Wen's convoy? Lin Fei frowned. From the looks of it, it doesn't seem like it. I'd better stay inside. If it's really for Miss Wen, I'll help her if I can. Consider it my thanks for the journey. Then, Lin Fei closed his eyes again. There weren't many people on the official road at noon. When Rushua's convoy was particularly eye-catching on the official road. When the caravan entered the range, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard, heading straight for Rushua's group. Swish, swish, swish. Dense black spots fell like rain. Not good. Someone is ambushing us. Surround them, surround them. After a brief moment of panic, the people in the convoy immediately made arrangements. They seemed to be familiar with this scene and were professionals. Although they were all very calm, this time they had encountered people who were well prepared. Many of the martial artists in the caravan were shot dead in the first wave, and there were more than 10 corpses on the official road. After the first wave of sneak attacks, the thieves gained the upper hand. The Wen family's carriages had already surrounded the city like an iron bucket. The guards and servants were all armed and on guard. As soon as the Wen family's troops charged forward, they would immediately counterattack. Haha, as expected of the Wen family's convoy. You can remain so calm even after being ambushed by us. On the official road, the convoy of the Wen family was surrounded. A middle-aged man who looked like a scholar appeared in front of the Wen clan's convoy on a profounder realm demon beast. Boss, we're rich this time. Look at how beautiful that girl is. Let's take her back and make her our wife. Look at those 2 long legs. She'll definitely be very happy in bed. The subordinates behind the middle-aged man chimed in. When Rushue stood on the carriage, beside her was an old man who stood quietly beside her. Who are you people? The one who spoke was not Wen Rushue, but the arrogant Lei Wei. Lin Fei, who had been in the carriage all along, could not help but want to laugh. How could they be good people if they were ambushed halfway? Why would a good person ambush them? Lin Fei was indeed surprised. Those people were ambushing Wen Rushue's convoy. Looks like I don't have to do anything this time. With that old man here, that guy is really something. Lin Fei closed his eyes again. Lei Wei glanced at the carriage behind him complacently. When he saw that the guy did not get off, he could not help but sneer. What a coward! This time it's my turn to stand out. Let's see how you're going to steal my limelight. Haha, we thought you were the bad guys. The middle-aged man laughed. Your clan's convoy is so rich that it's leaking oil. I, Fei Tianying, will definitely rip you off. Lei Wei also laughed. Fei Tianying, who do you think you are? Do you know who I am? I am the Lei clan's young master. If you know what's good for you, get lost and I will let you off. If you insist on going the wrong way, I will send out all the experts of the Lei clan to destroy your village. Unbeknownst to the Wen clan, when they heard this name, their expressions changed. Even when Rushue frowned. Fei Tianying laughed wildly and stared at Lei Wei. You can wear out iron shoes in fruitless search. But what you found without even looking for it. Your Lei clan has always been at odds with the 18 clans. Today, I will kill you and send your head back. I wonder what your Lei clan head will look like. Hiss. Lei Wei's expression changed, and his legs began to tremble. You are from the 18 clans. Fei, Tianying said, are you afraid now? You're just a young master of the Lei clan. Even if I kill you, your Lei clan won't dare to do anything. Do it. Kill. Kill them, and go back to play with women. Kill them all. The more you kill, the more you get. The bandits outside all moved and charged towards the Wen clan's convoy. Defend. Don't let them get in. Young master of the Lei clan, I will kill you first, then I will deal with them. Fei Tianying flew out from his mount and grabbed towards Lei Wei with his black hands. Space-tearing claw. Sila. Sila. Lei Wei's face was full of shock and his body was covered in blood. At the crucial moment, his underling went up to block the attack and was instantly killed. Uncle Guan, please take action. When Rushue's face turned solemn. Don't worry, Mississippi, the old man beside her nodded lightly. The 18 clans are just a group of bandits. This old servant will go and kill Fei Tianying now. Then they will be a group of dragons without a leader. Sky-piercing spear art. The old man flew out, and his mystic, adept, great perfection aura pressed over like a pressure. At the same time, the long spear in his hand stabbed towards Fei Fing. Come on. Fei Tianning gave up on dealing with Lei Wei and turned towards the old man. Space-tearing claw. A black light shot out. Dang, dang, dang. The two of them instantly clashed, and the sound of metal clashing could be heard continuously. Lin Fei opened his eyes again. Through his perception, he could see clearly the Wen clan strength is not bad. As long as this Fei Tianning is killed, the group of dragons will be without a leader and will naturally disperse. I wonder where these 18 clans came from, but they seem to be very powerful. Lei Wei's legs trembled in fear when he heard about the 18 clans. In the past, when he was in Guiyuan City, he thought that his clan was very powerful. Only when he was outside did he realize what it meant to be a frog in a well. A mystic, adept, great perfection expert was enough to wipe out their entire clan. If I'm free, I can go and understand these 18 clans. They seem to be of a large scale, and I can earn some experience. Unknowingly, an idea popped up in Lin Fei's mind. No, there's still an ambush. Lin Fei was in a daze for a moment. When he looked outside, the situation had changed drastically. The two people who were initially in a stalemate had now won. Old Guan's chest was pierced by 2 sharp arrows, and the tail of the arrows was still swaying. At the same time, a sharp claw came down and sent him flying. He was at a complete disadvantage. Guan Mingchang, we've known about your Wen clan expert for a long time. In order to deal with you, I invited Yu Guang, who is known as the Heavenly Arrow. Sure enough, you fell for it. Fei Tianning laughed, as if his scheme had succeeded. Yu Guang, you're not dead. Guan Mingchang's breathing was weak as he spat out these 2 words with difficulty. Guan Mingchang, you old thing. How was the taste of those 2 arrows? It's a pity that I didn't kill you on the spot. A figure flew out from the forest with a longbow in his hand. It was obviously a lower-grade spiritual treasure. However, on Yu Guang's face, there was a scar that looked like a centipede, which made him look very ferocious. Yu Guang raised his hand and the arrows fell. A few more people were sent flying and killed on the spot. How can I die if you're not dead? Yu Guang stood on the roof of the carriage and said coldly, However, I know that you'll die before me this time. Uncle Guan, eat it quickly. When Rushue quickly took out a pill and wanted to feed it to Uncle Guan. Miss, leave quickly. No one here can stop the 2 of them if they join hands. This old servant has disappointed you. Guan Mingchang struggled to stand up. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood again, and his face turned pale. Fei Tianning laughed. Yu Guang, let's attack together and kill them first. There's no need to kill Miss Wen. Such a good thing. If we send it to the higher-ups, they will definitely be happy. Yu Guang nodded. Split up and kill without mercy. Guan Mingchang, you old thing. I'll send you to hell now and let you see my brothers who were killed by you. Yu Guang raised his hand and shot out a cold arrow. It was shot out from the hands of a mystic, adept, late-stage martial artist. This arrow was fast and urgent. It seemed like it was going to shoot a big hole in the void. Leave quickly. Guan Mingchang pushed with one hand, and when Rushue was sent flying. I hate killing people halfway. Clank. With a shio sound, the arrow that was speeding forward broke into 2. It lost its power and fell to the ground at the side. Soon after, a lazy voice rang out. Not far away, Lin Fei was holding Wen Rushue. Miss Wen, are you all right? Wen Rushue was sent flying. She did not expect to fall into someone's embrace. Her face turned red, almost to the back of her ears. I'm fine. Then can you come down? When Rushue realized that she had accidentally hugged Master Shuang Mu like an octopus, she quickly let go, and her face was so red that water could be squeezed out. Stand at the back. Fighting and killing isn't something you women can play with. When Rushue was stunned and did not understand, Guan Mingchong, who was about to self-destruct, could not help but show a surprised look when he saw the young man who stood out. "Miss is saved this time. Brat, was it you who spoiled my plan just now?" Yu Guang said angrily. His killing move was broken. Of course, he was very unhappy. "If you can't find a second one, then it should be me." Lin Fei said with a smile. "Leave by yourself before I get angry." "Then die. 6-star sky arrow." Yu Guang pulled the bow. He did not use an arrow, but directly turned it into an arrow with his true essence. Swoosh, 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 6 streams of light flew up, down, left, and right towards Lin Fei's vital parts. "Your archery is not bad. Previously, there was an expert who forced me to use my full strength. Unfortunately, you are not qualified now." A disdainful voice suddenly appeared behind Yu Guang. Out of the corner of his eye, he felt a cool breeze. Then his vision turned black and he fell from the sky. He died in a daze, not knowing what happened. Lin Fei turned his eyes and fell on Fei Tianning. Fei Tianning's heart jumped, and he was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. How could Yu Guang die like this? Yu Guang, a mystic master in the late stage, had endless power in his archery. He had killed countless mystic masters in the late stage and peak stage. The scene in front of him kept shaking in his mind. Space-tearing claw. Yellow upper grade martial art. In front of so many subordinates. How could Fei Tianning be willing to leave? He thought that Yu Guang was killed by a sneak attack. Fighting head-on might not be that powerful, but it could kill a brat. When Rushue, Guan Mingchong, and even Lei Wei, who was hiding behind the carriage, were all dumbfounded. How could that demonic beast tamer be an expert? The most shocked one was Guan Mingchong. Yu Guang's archery was superior in terms of speed. He was injured because he could not dodge in time. That master Shuangmu seemed to have taken less than a breath's time. "Shatter!" Lin Fei pointed out with both of his hands, and the metal intent was shattered. The true essence claw smashed into pieces, but the momentum did not stop. It landed on Yu Guang's body, and the huge metal intent shattered Fei Tianning's body. The defense of the Vajra god ape was strong, but the Fei Tianning was similar. How could his body resist the endless metal intent? "Not good, the boss is dead." Everyone run. The boss was dead, and so was the helper. The people below were scared out of their wits, and they lost the will to fight. They turned around and ran. Like the wind, a wind-like aura swept towards them. These subordinates were only at the mystic realm. Facing the sword art that contained the intent, they could not resist at all and fell to the ground. Lin Fei did not want to offend the 18 clans at the moment. "Dead. They are all dead." Didn't they die a little too fast? The guards and servants of the Wind clan were all dumbfounded. They did not even know how they were killed. This speed, those who looked down on Lin Fei before were all glad that they did not find trouble with him. Otherwise, if he wanted to kill them, it would be as easy as killing a chicken. Lin Fei took the inferior grade spirit treasure bow and arrow and obtained a pair of gloves from the other Fei Tianning. Inferior grade spirit treasure, it could increase one's attack power, which was why the heaven-splitting claw was so powerful. After obtaining 2 inferior grade spirit treasures, Lin Fei was in a good mood. The leaders of the 18 clans all had inferior grade spirit treasures. If he could sweep them all, there should be a lot of spirit treasures, right? Chapter 263. Silence reigned. Absolute silence. A silence that had never been seen before. The Eagle King and Yu Guang, in the eyes of Master Shuangmu, were killed in mere moments. They couldn't even hold on for long. More importantly, this Master Shuangmu didn't look very old. No one expected him to be so powerful that he could kill without leaving a trace. Lin Fei knew what was going on when he saw the expressions on everyone's faces. He saw fear and admiration in their eyes. It should be said that fear was the majority. This was definitely the state of mind when facing a strong opponent. In the Xiantian continent, strength was the most important thing, regardless of age. Of course, if there was a difference in strength, it would be the younger ones. Master Shuang Mu was young. If he hadn't acted today, they would have taken him as an ordinary monster beast master, not a master. It seems I should go. Seeing their expressions, Lin Fei knew he couldn't stay. It was only a day or two away from the imperial capital of the Tianhai dynasty. At his speed, it would take him about a day to get there. He had memorized the general location when he came, so he could find the imperial capital without any guidance. I didn't expect you to be so secretive, Master Shuang Mu. When Ru Xue came up and looked at Lin Fei with a complicated expression, Lin Fei looked at Ru Xue's resentful eyes, and his heart softened. Whether it was on Earth or in the Xiantian continent, when facing girls, his attitude was always like this. He subconsciously rubbed his chin. Actually, I didn't do it on purpose. When Ru Xue didn't believe him, of course. I still have to thank you. Without your help, our caravan might have been wiped out. Lin Fei said, If you think of me as a friend, then you don't have to thank me. Friends shouldn't treat each other like strangers, don't you think? When Ru Xue chuckled and blinked, Of course you are my friend. I'm very happy to have a friend like you. I was wondering if you deliberately took our caravan? Lin Fei noticed that when Ru Xue's face blushed after saying this, his heart skipped a beat. This girl, is she imagining things? You think too much. I really have something to do. Lin Fei didn't expect this girl to be so smart. She could even guess it. He wouldn't admit it even if he was beaten to death. Thank you for saving us, young hero. The entire Wen clan is eternally grateful. Guan Mingchang was supported by someone. His face was still pale, but he looked much better than before. It seemed like he had taken some healing pills. Lin Fei was really afraid that when Ru Xue would guess something. Back then, in order to find a guide, he had deliberately done this. It was definitely not an honorable thing to do. So when Guan Mingchang interjected, Lin Fei was naturally happy. Women are shrewd creatures. Lin Fei smiled and said, This is what I should do. Guan Mingchang did not dare to be arrogant, especially when facing an expert who had killed the soaring Eagle King and Yu Guang in the blink of an eye. Young hero, if there's nothing else, why don't we go together? I believe that Grand Master Shuang Mu will know many things about the imperial capital. I'm not good at other places, but I'm quite familiar with the situation in the imperial capital. Guan Mingchang was indeed experienced. He actually saw a hint of leaving in Lin Fei's eyes. Lin Fei was slightly stunned, but he quickly recovered. Since Uncle Guan has said so, I won't stand on ceremony. The corpses on the official road were quickly cleaned up. The injured members of the Wen clan were all carried to the car, and the corpses were to be brought back to the imperial capital. As for the heads of the two experts, they were all chopped off. This was because the imperial capital had a bounty for the people of the 18 clans. If the heads were brought back and handed in, they could get a lot of profound spirit stones. Hearing that there was such a thing, Lin Fei, of course, did not stand on ceremony and naturally took the profound spirit stones. Now, Lin Fei's pocket was empty, and there were not many low-grade, profound spirit stones left. There were only 10,000 mid-grade, profound spirit stones, which was equivalent to 100,000 low-grade, profound spirit stones. Now that there was an opportunity to offer a bounty, Lin Fei would not miss it. Who cared about the 18 clans? If they really dared to come to his door, he did not mind sending them all as bounties. The official road was quickly cleaned up, and the convoy had an additional group of demonic beasts. If they were brought to the imperial capital, they could be sold for a good price. Apart from the smell of blood, almost no one knew that there had been an ambush here. That night, Lin Fei woke up from his cultivation. In the battle during the day, he had obtained a lot of pure essence pills. Unfortunately, they were all low-grade pure essence pills, which were the most widely traded elixirs. The two of them had about 10,000 on them, so Lin Fei naturally would not stand on ceremony and exchanged all the pure essence pills for elixirs. The Wen clan did not want the 2 inferior grade spirit treasures, and they had no intention of mentioning them at all. Lin Fei also accepted them without standing on ceremony. It should be possible to exchange them for tens of thousands to 100,000 pure essence pills. Although pure essence pills were not as good as superior grade pure essence pills, they were quite good for trading. Hey, what are they doing? Lin Fei subconsciously released his perception. Soon he heard a conversation. The people talking were Wen Ruxue and the injured Guan Mingchang. Miss, the 18 clans have made a move on our Wen clan. We were going to invite some experts back, but we didn't expect them to be out traveling. This time, our Wen clan is not as good as 10 years ago. Judging from the voice, it should be Guan Mingchang's. Lin Fei thought to himself that something was wrong. What did the 18 clans mean by making a move on them? Today's incident must have something to do with the Li clan. They all want to raise our position. The Flying Eagle King and Yu Guang should be the people they contacted. This voice belonged to Wen Ruxue. Her tone was filled with murderous intent, unlike before. Lin Fei lowered his head and pondered. Could it be that the Li clan they're talking about is the Li clan that attacked me? Let me continue to listen to what is going on. From the looks of it, it seems that something has happened to the clan. In the carriage, the 2 continued to talk. The ancestor of the Li family suffered a great loss at the hands of the ancestor of the Wen family. Ever since then, he has been holding a grudge against the Wen family. Until now, the position of the Wen family is in jeopardy. If we are pushed out of the top 10 merchant groups and lose this position, it will be a huge blow to the Wen family. Guan Mingchang said worriedly, the only thing we can do is to fight for the position this year and try to block the Li clan's attack. This way, we will have the right to continue sitting on this position. Wen Ruxue said, the Li clan has many experts. We originally invited a few experts, but now we can't invite anyone. It should be that the Li clan bribed them. They want us to completely lose our position. Miss, if you are willing to help, don't we have a ready-made one in front of us? Guan Mingchang said. Wen Ruxue had a complicated look. You are talking about Master Shuangmu? Guan Mingchang nodded. With Master Shuangmu's strength, even I am not his opponent. The Li clan has many geniuses, but I think they are definitely not Master Shuangmu's opponent. My guess is that Master Shuangmu's strength should be at Mystic Spirit Realm. In the carriage, the atmosphere became silent. Mystic Spirit Realm. Wen Ruxue was also shocked. Are you sure? This old servant's eyes are not so bad that I can't see it, but will he agree? Wen Ruxue said with a conflicted look. On the other side, Lin Fei was speechless. How did things get dragged into this? Why did it have to be him? This, if you marry him, it's possible. Lin Fei touched his chin and thought naughtily. Guan Mingchang sighed. It would be fine if our previous clan leader was here. At least the Li clan didn't push us too far. Wen Ruxue said clan leader Wen Tianwei. Apart from the old clan leader, the other clan leaders are not as strong as clan leader Wen Tianwei in terms of strength and influence. Guan Mingchang sighed again. If we can invite Master Shuangmu to help, our Wen clan will have a chance of winning. Wen Tianwei. Lin Fei's face changed. A name appeared in his mind. Damn, it can't be so coincidental, right? This time he came to Tianhai Dynasty not only to find trouble with the Li clan, but also to help Uncle Master Zhang when check on the person he mentioned. Wen Tianwei was his target this time. Uncle Master Zhang had said before he left that if Lin Fei had the time, he should go to Tianhai Dynasty to check on Wen Tianwei, saying that the kid used to be an in-name disciple. If it wasn't for the fact that he had to go back to support the clan, he would have become a Mystic King expert in terms of talent. When Lin Fei first heard the name of the convoy on the official road, he didn't pay much attention to it. After all, he wouldn't associate the name with Wen Tianwei. But when he heard the name Wen Tianwei and associated it with Uncle Master Zhang Wen's words, he undoubtedly had an idea. Could this Wen Tianwei be the Wen Tianwei that Uncle Master Zhang Wen mentioned? Lin Fei couldn't help but recall. Uncle Master Zhang Wen said that Wen Tianwei is the successor of a certain clan, so it's very likely that he is the clan leader of the Wen clan. Uncle Master Zhang Wen said that it's been a long time since Wen Tianwei became the clan leader of the Wen clan. Wen Tianwei is very talented. If he focused on his cultivation, it's hard to say that he wouldn't become a mystic king expert by now. In conclusion, it's very likely that this Wen Tianwei is an in-name disciple of Uncle Master Zhang Wen. After a series of conclusions, Lin Fei was certain that this Wen Tianwei was the clan leader of the Wen clan. If he wasn't careful, he would bump into someone from the Wen clan. If this was outside, Lin Fei wouldn't mind laughing out loud. My luck is too good. Why didn't I think that Wen Tianwei is the clan leader of the Wen clan? Fortunately, Lin Fei was glad that he didn't leave earlier. Otherwise, his efforts would have been in vain. Wen Ruxue is Wen Tianwei's descendant, so she can be of help. As for the Li clan, you can't blame me for being impolite since you're the one who bumped into me. Chapter 264. Master Shuangmu, can I have a word with you? Lin Fei quickly retracted his perception. Lin Fei didn't think too much about what happened after that. He knew what was going on. As expected when Ruxue came. Sure. Lin Fei alighted from the carriage and saw Wen Ruxue standing outside eagerly. He didn't even need to think to know what was going on. Do you mind taking a walk with me? Wen Ruxue blushed under the night sky. However, it was hard to notice if one didn't pay attention. The two of them walked into the forest at the side. At this moment, the guards and servants acted as if they didn't see anything. They didn't dare to say anything to an expert who could kill a mystic adept in the great perfection and mystic adept realm. At this moment, they looked like a perfect match. Bitch, you bitch! Behind a carriage, Lei Wei grabbed the door of the carriage. Veins popped out on his palm as he stared at the two with hatred in his eyes. A crack appeared on the sturdy door. Slut, I've chased you from the imperial capital of the Tianhai dynasty for 3 whole months, but you've never smiled at me, and you've never promised me anything. It's only been a few days, and you want to seduce a young man? You're an old cow eating young grass. You're a slut, and you've got a stinking brat. You're just a little stronger, but damn it, how dare you try to seduce a slut? Ka 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 ka. The door was torn apart, leaving a pile of sawdust on the ground like fallen leaves. Lei Wei's eyes moved. Bitch, you forced me to do this. Originally, I was prepared to help your Wen clan, but now I want your Wen clan to be destroyed. You'll lose your position as the head merchant, and your Wen clan will soon become a nobody. Lei Wei's eyes moved. And that stinking brat, you've offended the 18 clans. You won't have an easy time either. I believe that after you're targeted by the 18 clans, how long can you be proud of yourself? I'll let you two be proud for now. In the forest, under the moonlight, it was bright and gentle. Master Shuangmu, thank you so much for today. Wen Ruxue rarely hung out with men. Even though the man in front of her didn't look very old, he still made her feel flustered. As a young lady of the Wen clan and living in the imperial city, she had seen all kinds of handsome men and geniuses. She did not feel anything for anyone without a powerful background. Only this time, for some unknown reason, he was actually moved by it. That elegant movement, that sharp attack, that lazy smile under his eyes, no matter which one it was, it gave Wen Ruxue an unforgettable feeling. She would often think of it. It's just a small matter, don't worry about it. If you have to thank me for everything, I think you'll be very tired. Lin Fei turned his head and said with a smile, in my opinion, just keep your gratitude in your heart. Wen Ruxue looked a little embarrassed. I'll remember it. Lin Fei sat down on a stone. Don't stand there. Sit down and talk. Don't you think it's more comfortable to sit down? Wen Ruxue suddenly found that it was actually very easy to talk to Master Shuangmu. At least he didn't have that domineering feeling, and he didn't keep bragging about his achievements, hoping that everyone would know about it, so as to expand his influence. Are you going to the Imperial City to play, or? When Rushue asked tentatively, thinking about how to bring it up, for some reason, when Rushue couldn't bring herself to say it, she always felt a little uncomfortable, as if she shouldn't ask for help. But on the other hand, the appearance of Master Shuangmu brought her hope. This hope was related to the future development of the clan. There was an unusual contradiction between the two. Lin Fei said with a smile, I heard that there are beauties in the imperial city of the Tianhai dynasty. I'm actually going to see beauties. What kind of beauties are there in the imperial city? I don't believe it. Suddenly, when Rushue burst into laughter, Lin Fei said seriously, I haven't arrived in the imperial city yet, but I've already seen a beauty. There are indeed beauties in the imperial city. I can already imagine it. When Rushue was slightly stunned, she pursed her lips and said with a smile, You must have hit on many beauties with this excuse, right? Lin Fei said modestly, Actually, you're the first. Look at me. Would I keep hitting on beauties? When Rushue nodded, I believe you will often hit on beauties. Lin Fei couldn't help but say with a smile, Thank you for your confidence. I think I need to be arrogant. Actually, I have nothing to do in the imperial city. I just want to walk around and experience life. When Rushue looked at Lin Fei and bit her rosy lips, Master Shuangmu, you've done our family a big favor today. If Master Shuangmu doesn't have anything else to do, I wonder if you can do us a favor? Our family will give you something you'll be satisfied with. After saying this, she seemed uneasy. When Rushue had rarely asked for help in her life, it should be said that this was the first time she went to ask for help. When Lin Fei got off the carriage, he knew that when Rushue was looking for him to ask for help. He didn't expect that when Rushue would feel pressured by his words. She didn't say it until now. Miss Wen, such a beautiful woman, how could I? Lin Fei kept her in suspense. Refuse. She agreed so easily. When Rushue couldn't hide the excitement on her face. For a long time, this matter had been a big pressure on Wen Rushue, especially when she went out to look for experts and was attacked by the 18 families. She was almost wiped out. You agreed. When Rushue stood up excitedly, then realized that she was too excited, Lin Fei also stood up. Actually, I've been in contact with your patriarch, Wen Tianwei. This time, I'll definitely help you. When Rushue sucked in a breath of cold air, You know my great-grandpa? Lin Fei said with a smile, It seems that we're fated. It's late, let's go back. By the time when Rushue reacted, Lin Fei had already walked out. Grandfather's friend. When Rushue fell into a state of confusion, But why haven't I heard that grandfather has such a young friend? Ever since the ambush on the official road. The One clan's convoy didn't encounter the attacks of the 18 families again. It was as if they had stopped all activities. They didn't even encounter the mountain bandits that often appeared. They arrived at the capital of the Tianhai dynasty safely. The capital was bigger than Lin Fei imagined. It was filled with a grand atmosphere. History had left a deep historical aura in this capital. A majestic aura that belonged to the capital enveloped the sky above the capital. Master Shuangmu, this is the capital of the Tianhai dynasty. Guan Mingchang stood beside Lin Fei respectfully, without any of the prestige of a mystic adept great perfection. Those are all trade caravans. This is the most common type of trade caravans in the capital. Our Wen clan is also one of them. Lin Fei looked at the imperial capital, and a strange feeling welled up in his heart. It was a powerful presence. No wonder the palace of the capital is a place where experts gather. The rumors are true. Lin Fei thought to himself, I wonder what I will gain from this trip. Lin Fei returned to the carriage. The One clan's convoy passed through the city gates. After entering the capital, a unique aura hit him in the face. The wide streets were bustling with people. If he was in Mountain River City, he would feel that the place was huge. When he arrived at the capital of the Tianhai dynasty, Lin Fei felt as if he was walking from a village to a big city. Even though this was the capital, there were no tall buildings or traffic, but the experts on the streets couldn't be compared to Mountain River City. In just a short while, Lin Fei saw more than 10 Mystic Adept experts in the carriage. Among them, there were 2 Mystic Adept Great Perfection experts. As for those low-level martial artists and Mystic Realm martial artists, they could be seen everywhere like cabbages. As expected of the capital, the number of experts is far from what a county city can compare to. No wonder the experts from the families in the capital are so powerful. This was the first time that Lin Fei saw the capital that he could see in history, and he felt very emotional. This was the real stage. What would the stage outside the dynasty be like? Lin Fei's thoughts drifted away as he thought about those big stages. What a terrifying aura! Suddenly, Lin Fei frowned, and a rare look of shock appeared on his face. He opened the curtains and looked out. He could vaguely see the eaves at the end of the street, which exuded a grand atmosphere. Could this be the palace? Even though he couldn't see the whole scene, just a corner was enough to give Lin Fei a huge shock. Other than the palace, there seemed to be no other place that could have such a strong aura. Lin Fei thought that he was strong, but under that aura his spirit was about to collapse. Fortunately, that aura was not aimed at Lin Fei. Such a domineering aura, only the palace had the ability to do so. The palace is full of crouching tigers and hidden dragons. No wonder the novels often say that the palace is the most terrifying place. If a small dynasty is already so powerful, what about the capital of a medium dynasty, super dynasty, or even a dynasty? Lin Fei didn't dare to continue thinking and couldn't help but clench his fists. One day in the future, I will ignore these palaces and walk in openly. The carriage went round and round on the street. About an hour later, the One family's carriage stopped in front of a mansion, which showed how big the capital was. When Rushue's carriage appeared in front of the gate of the One family, another carriage also appeared on the other side. Judging from the scale, the two were similar. Isn't this Sister Rushue? A white-robed man came down from the opposite carriage and said in a strange tone. At this time, Rushue also came down from the carriage. When she saw the man, she showed a look of disgust. "Master Shuangmu, how do we get in?" After saying that, she wanted to bring someone in. Chapter 265. The man in white's words made the people around him stop, because they were all from the Wen family. As a family, internal problems couldn't be ignored. Every family had problems. The bigger the family, the more serious the internal problems. If there was a powerful clan leader, then they would be able to suppress the internal problems, and there would not be any problems. However, if the clan leader could not suppress the internal problems, then the internal problems would reach an uncontrollable level. Many clans had perished because of this, unable to rise again and becoming inferior clans. The Wen family was the same. This problem had been around for a long time. The man in white was a collateral disciple, Wen Qiu. He was considered outstanding among the collateral disciples. There was an unwritten rule in the Wen family. Once a collateral disciple became outstanding, he would be qualified to be a merchant and have a position in the family. Wen Qiu was such a collateral disciple. Ever since he was qualified, this collateral disciple suddenly gained influence. Although the influence wasn't great, it was different from before when they couldn't speak. The Wen family was established by doing business. Otherwise, they wouldn't have become a member of the main merchant and obtained an absolute position. Therefore, the Wen family always raised talented people freely. This meant that they could fight with each other. As long as it wasn't a life-threatening situation, the higher-ups would turn a blind eye. It was because of this that the scene in the previous chapter happened. after the introduction of the collateral disciple Wen Qiu. Then, let's introduce Wen Ruxue. Wen Ruxue was a direct descendant and a business genius. She was young, but she already had a caravan. This caravan had a lot of power in the Wen family. The competition between the collateral disciples and the direct descendants had always been in conflict. This was because the direct descendants received a lot of resources from birth. They were better than the collateral disciples at the starting line. The collateral disciples, on the other hand, had limited resources and were constantly suppressed. It was very rare for the branch family disciples to have a genius disciple. Even if they did, they would immediately be suppressed by the direct disciples and be unable to rise again. Wen Ruxue was a genius among the direct descendants, especially in business. She had always been hated by the other collateral disciples. Usually, all sorts of sarcastic remarks were nonstop. Provocations were even more frequent. That was because everyone understood one thing. Stepping on a direct descendant disciple would undoubtedly allow the branch family disciples to be known by others. No one was surprised by this scene. It's none of your business. Wen Ruxue's previous soft and weak demeanor was replaced by a very firm tone. Her long, shapely eyebrows were raised, and she had the aura of a woman. Lin Fei, who was standing to the side, was startled. Wen Ruxue's change was too fast. He almost suspected that he had recognized the wrong person. Her aura had become so strong. She was a heroine. Wen Qiu smiled and said, "Sister Ruxue, don't be angry. I just want to remind you that in this day and age, there are all sorts of people pretending to be experts. You must not be deceived by them." His tone clearly said that Master Shuangmu was a liar. Lin Fei had been shot even though he was lying down. "What does this have to do with me? This is your internal problem. What's the point of dragging me into it? Is being young a mistake?" At this time, Lin Fei was very depressed. "You don't have to act cool on me." If it was in the past, Lin Fei would definitely not be polite and go up to teach this brat a lesson. However, after what happened in the demonic Beast Mountain range, this scene was like watching a clown perform, a clown flaunting his strength. What was there to be angry about? Right now, Lin Fei was watching a clown perform. Unfortunately, Wen Qiu did not know. If she knew, she would definitely hate Lin Fei to the core. Wen Ruxue frowned and said, "You don't have to worry about this. Master Shuangmu, let's go in." His tone changed and became polite. "Miss Wen, your internal department is full of such people. It's not good for the Wen family." Lin Fei shook his head and walked toward the door. "Brat, what did you say?" Wen Qiu was like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. She almost jumped up and looked at Lin Fei angrily as if she wanted to eat him up. It could be said that Lin Fei's action just now was really unintentional. In fact, Lin Fei wanted to say, "Why do you have to make things difficult for this kind of person? Aren't you making things difficult for yourself?" However, when the words were on the tip of his tongue, they became like this and changed their meaning. "Get out of my way." Seeing this pretentious person appear in front of him, Lin Fei's face darkened. Wen Qiu laughed and said, "This is my Wen family's door. I'm very unhappy now, and I don't allow you to enter. What can you do to me? Hit me if you can. I want to see how powerful you, Master Shuangmu, are." Lin Fei turned around and shrugged his shoulders at Wen Ruxue. He looked helpless as he said, "Miss Wen, did you see that?" He said it himself. "I wasn't the one who wanted to hit him." Wen Qiu was also proud. She wanted to see how Wen Ruxue would react. "He's ignorant. I hope you can be gentler." Wen Qiu felt disgusted as if he had eaten a fly. He thought he had heard wrongly. "What do you mean gentler? I'm an early mystic master." Lin Fei nodded and said, "No problem." As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Fei left a shadow and appeared in front of Wen Qiu. He sneered and said, "I've never seen such a lowly person like you." He waved his hand and slapped Wen Qiu's handsome face. "You!" Before he could finish his sentence, Wen Qiu was sent flying and crashed into the door. His face hit the door and he fell down. "You're courting death." Lin Fei appeared in front of that person again and slapped him again. 2 white teeth flew out. "I'm hitting you. You're the result of acting tough." 2 more slaps. The protective chi of a mystic adept realm expert couldn't withstand that slap at all and kept shattering. Wen Qiu was stunned. This kid actually dared to hit me. Unexpectedly, as soon as he said those fierce words, a few of his teeth were sent flying, especially his front teeth, which were directly turned into black holes. After slapping him left and right, Wen Qiu's face became like a pig's head. Those who didn't know would think that something had happened. Then he was thrown out and fell on the street. Luckily, this was the Wen family's mansion. There weren't many people coming and going. If this was the real street, he would have become famous and the news would have spread throughout the imperial capital. "Master Shuangmu, let's go inside." A hint of joy flashed in Wen Rushua's eyes as if she had vented her anger. She didn't even look at his miserable appearance. Sigh. There's so many shameless people in this world. He actually took the initiative to ask for a beating. I thought I heard wrongly. Lin Fei shook his head and walked towards the door. The guards at the gate were all dumbfounded by this scene. Wen Qiu, who was at the initial mystic master, was beaten like a pig's head. This was too natural. They didn't dare to do anything to Lin Fei. Most importantly, everyone heard that Wen Qiu took the initiative to ask for a beating. Actually, they also wanted to laugh in their hearts. This young master of the collateral family seemed to have some problems in his head. When Rushua, "I won't," the latter part of his words became a leak. He couldn't even hear his own words. As for Wen Rushua's guards and servants, they couldn't help but burst into laughter. These guards and servants wouldn't have so many scruples against a collateral family disciple. That was because they were Wen Rushua's guards and servants. They weren't worried about what Wen Qiu would do. If he really dared to do it, Wen Qiu would be the first to suffer. "Why don't you say that I was reckless just now?" Wen Rushua arranged a small courtyard for Lin Fei. The area wasn't big, but it was much better than Mountain River City. Wen Qiu has always been frivolous. He deserved to be beaten. Wen Rushua didn't avoid it at all. "I wanted to beat him a long time ago. You helped me vent my anger." Lin Fei laughed. "Then shouldn't you thank me? At least I helped you take revenge." Wen Rushua giggled. "In your dreams." Lin Fei's mouth twitched. "That's boring. But then again, your family doesn't seem to be very good. A collateral family dares to provoke a direct descendant like you. If it were me, I would directly beat them up. Then, I would beat them up every time I see them until they are afraid and surrender. You stay here first. When I'm done with my business, I'll come over and take you out for a walk. If there's anything, just let them come and tell me." In the small courtyard, besides them, there were 2 maids. They were young and good-looking. "Go do your business." Lin Fei nodded. "If there's anything, I'll find you." From the small courtyard came Guan Mingchang. Guan Mingchang, who had recovered half of his injuries, couldn't help but ask, "Miss, won't this cause them dissatisfaction?" When Rushua said lightly, "Master Shuangmu is a good-tempered person. When Qiu is asking for trouble by rushing over, it'll also let those collateral family members know that the person I invited is not someone they can offend. When Qiu is really a good-for-nothing. He deserves to be beaten up. I didn't expect that Master Shuangmu is not only strong, but also has a strong body." Guan Mingchang said, "This is indeed a good idea. They won't disturb Master Shuangmu. It hurts." In a unique courtyard. At this time, there were several young people gathered together. They were either arrogant or extravagant. Wen Qiu stopped shouting. "Who asked you to have such a cheap mouth? It's almost spread throughout the family. I really didn't expect you to say such words. Aren't you clearly telling them to come and beat me up? If it were me, I would also not be able to help but beat them up." A young man sitting opposite Wen Qiu sipped on fragrant tea and said sarcastically. When Chiu said, "Tianya, it's easy for you to say that. Don't forget, that person was invited by that bitch Wen Wuxiue." Wen Tianya was the young man sitting opposite Wen Qiu. "If I were you, I'd bang my head against the wall." A mystic adept expert was slapped by someone. "You've lived your life like a dog." Another young man next to him advised, "Tianya, don't scold Wen Qiu. You also know that when this guy is excited, he often talks nonsense. Let's see how we can help Wen Qiu get revenge." "That's right. We must get revenge," another young man said. These young men were all collateral disciples of the Wen family. They were all rather famous, because they formed a circle and helped each other to resist the direct descendants. Their influence in the Wen family wasn't small. After Wen Qiu suffered greatly at the hands of Wen Wuxiue, they naturally gathered together to discuss what to do about this matter. If they didn't get revenge, they would be in big trouble, especially in this current situation. The incident at the main gate couldn't be concealed at all. Before long, it would spread throughout the family, and their lives in this circle wouldn't be good. When Shui said, "Isn't that obvious? Just find a time to get rid of that kid. What's there to think about?" When Qiu cheered, "That's right. Cripple that kid. From his strength, that kid is at the mystic adept realm. It's just that his movement technique is fast. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been ambushed. Good my ass." When Tianya sneered, "Other than an idiot who would go and get rid of that master Shuangmu." Everyone was instantly like a deflated balloon. "Then what should we do?" "We can't kill him. Are we going to keep him alive? Just watch?" "I can't take this lying down. If you guys aren't going, I'll go myself." A trace of disdain flashed across Wen Tianya's eyes. "You guys only know how to fight and kill all day long. No wonder we're still collateral disciples." Wen Tianya said, "Don't you think that this is a great opportunity for us?" When Qiu asked doubtfully, "Opportunity?" "I see an opportunity to be suppressed." Wen Tianya was still calm. "Don't you think about it? This time, our Wen clan is in a crisis of life and death. If we stabilize our position, we will have 10 years in the future. If we lose these 10 years, I'm afraid our Wen clan will soon become a second or third-rate clan." When Shui said, "Tianya, don't keep us in suspense. Just say it." "That's right. You know how to use your brain. Tell us what it is, and we'll consider it. If it's possible, we'll go." When Tianya said, "Wen Wuxiue is a direct disciple. Our Wen clan is like the sun in the sky. What if we fail this time? Of course, our reputation will plummet. But how could Wen Wuxiue fail?" When Tianya was exasperated, "You're all stupid pigs. Don't you know that Master Shuangmu? All of us have invited experts back to help us. When the time comes, it'll be an important sparring match. You understand? You want us to make a move then?" When Qiu's eyes lit up, "Haha, as expected of Tianya. He can even think of such a method. This time that kid is dead for sure. Good idea. Isn't Wen Wuxiue very powerful? Seeing the person she invited back die in a sparring match, her expression will definitely be very interesting." Wen Shui said, Wen Tianya was very proud. "That's why I say that sometimes using your brain is much better than using your hands. This time, we'll make that little slut suffer a crushing defeat." Chapter 266. Tianhai Dynasty Imperial Capital. 18 families, secret liaison office. Fei, Tianying, and Yu Guang are both dead. The killer is called Master Shuangmu. He is very powerful and is suspected to be a disciple of a sect. He killed Fei, Tianying, and Yu Guang as soon as he attacked. Secret liaison office. The 18 clans were very daring. Although they were wanted outside, they still had contacts within the imperial capital to gather information about the 18 clans. At this moment, they were gathering information from their contacts. Master Shuangmu, the Wen family. Immediately investigate Master Shuang Mu's background and try to find out which sect he is from. I want to know in a short time whether the 18 families can survive after offending them." The secret liaison office quieted down again. Lin Fei stayed at the Wen family for a day. The next morning, he left the Wen family and appeared at the Bounty Association with the corpses of the 18 families. The Bounty Association was a special feature of the Tianhai dynasty. The reason why it was a special feature was actually very simple. The Bounty Association would offer all kinds of rewards, and behind the scenes of the Bounty Association were the major forces of the imperial capital. All kinds of rewards would appear in the Bounty Association, no matter if it was famous, no matter if it was notorious, no matter how shocking the background was. Once they went to the Bounty Association and offered a suitable price, there would always be some desperados who would accept the task and secretly deal with the target. Every month, many martial artists would die under all kinds of assassinations. It was very difficult to guard against them. The appearance of the Bounty Association led to the appearance of assassination organizations. Assassination organizations, killer organizations. Their goal was actually very simple, which was to complete the task. These organizations, no matter how big they were, had always been feared by people. In particular, many martial artists died under assassination, which attracted a lot of people. They were afraid of going to the Bounty Association. This place is very gloomy. At this moment, Lin Fei had turned into a handsome young man. His face had an abnormal, sickly complexion, and his eyes were looking around. In order to find the Bounty Association, Lin Fei chose to use the disguise skill. Lin Fei bought the disguise skill from the shop himself. The human skin mask cost 500 points. It was not cheap or expensive, just right. Unless it was someone who was extremely familiar with him, no one would be able to resist Lin Fei. After walking into the Bounty Association, Lin Fei felt as if he had walked into a market. There were loud discussions everywhere, making him wonder if he had come to the wrong place. Lin Fei suspected that he had come to the market. Assassinate someone, offer a bounty of 10,000 low-grade dark spirit stones. Assassinate a disciple of a large sect. Reward of 100,000 low-grade Xianling stones. 50,000 low-grade Xian spirit stones for a young wind-type demonic beast. After walking into the wide hall, Lin Fei could hear all kinds of shouts from time to time. It turned out that they were issuing various quests. Among these missions, there were assassination missions, bounty missions. All kinds of missions were dazzling to the eye, making it hard for people to choose. There were simply too many missions. Lin Fei walked straight to the bounty mission platform. "Are there any missions related to the 18 families?" Lin Fei walked up and asked directly. The receptionist was a pretty girl with big, watery eyes and a good appearance. She said politely, "Please wait a moment, sir. We will find it for you right away." For the Tianhai dynasty to become a small dynasty, the Bounty Association should have brought a lot of help. A moment later, the information was placed on the platform. "Sir, we have already helped you pick out all the missions related to the 18 families. If there is anything you don't know, I will sincerely answer it for you." Lin Fei flipped through the information. So many. After opening the information, it was all about the 18 families. Most of them had bounties to kill the leaders of the 18 families, and at the same time, some foreign experts had joined the 18 families. Behind each bounty was a standard, corresponding value. Assassinate the leader of the 18 families, Zhao Shan, bounty of 9 million low-grade Xianling stones. Assassinate the first elder of the 18 families, bounty of 3 million low-grade Xianling stones. Assassinate the second elder of the 18 families, bounty of 2 million low-grade Xianling stones. Lin Fei looked very carefully, and his heart was filled with shock. The 18 families, it turns out that the enemies are not small. The leader of the 18 families, 9 million low-grade Xianling stones, is really not a low price. The 18 families were a joint bandit gang. Ever since they joined forces, their strength had increased sharply. After doing a few big things and killing the experts who surrounded them, the 18 families became famous. After a few years, the influence of the 18 families was almost no less than that of a family. When the 18 families were mentioned, everyone would change their expressions. Reward the leader of the 18 families Flying Eagle King 30,000 low-grade Xianling stones for completing the mission. Reward the experts of the 18 families Sky Arrow Yuguang 20,000 low-grade Xianling stones for completing the mission. Looking all the way, Lin Fei found the location of the two, adding up to 50,000 low-grade Xianling stones. It was a good income. After dealing with the matter, I can move the 18 families. When the time comes, I shouldn't be short of Xianling stones. Lin Fei had an idea in his heart. While everyone was shocked, Lin Fei took out the heads of the Flying Eagle and Yuguang, which surprised many people. The leaders of the 18 families, experts. In the Bounty Association, very few people would submit the missions of the 18 families. It was really not that easy to complete the missions of the 18 families. Even if it could be completed, it would be very troublesome. A seemingly injured kid actually killed 2 of the backbones of the 18 families. In today's Bounty Association, it was indeed a very big thing. The people of the Bounty Association immediately checked to confirm the authenticity. Congratulations, sir. Here is your 50,000 low-grade Xianling stones. Please keep it well. The girl at the front desk brought up a bag of Xianling stones. After Lin Fei checked with his perception power and confirmed that there were no problems, he left the Bounty Association. After leaving the main street, he decisively wandered on the street for a while. After coming out of a small alley again, Lin Fei returned to his original appearance. I heard that the 8 Treasures Tower is not bad. I can sell everything on me. Lin Fei had heard when Rushua mentioned the 8 Treasures Tower before, so he remembered this place. It was not difficult to find the 8 Treasures Tower. By asking the martial artists on the street, Lin Fei quickly locked onto the direction and went straight to the 8 Treasures Tower. It's really here. Looking at the magnificent 8 Treasures Tower, Lin Fei lifted his legs and walked in. After walking into the 8 Treasures Tower, a high-class aura rushed towards him. This was because at the bottom level there were mystic adept experts everywhere, and there was no lack of mystic spirit experts. When Rushua is right, this place has its own way. The background behind the 8 Treasures Tower was very complicated. No one had ever dared to say anything when anything was sold in the 8 Treasures Tower. All along, apart from selling things, there were also many people who sold things that could not see the light of day. You want to sell numinous treasures? In a small room, a wrinkled old man asked Lin Fei. Lin Fei took out the numinous treasures from before. There was a total of 5 numinous treasures, one of which was an upper numinous treasure that he had snatched from the mystic spirit Great Perfection Realm. Unfortunately, its attributes were not too good, and it was injured, so he had to give it up reluctantly. Good stuff. The old man did not think much of a young man. When he saw the items, his eyes immediately lit up. This kid's money was not simple. He then lowered his head and began to evaluate the numinous treasures. This lower numinous treasure whip is worth 30,000 mystic spirit stones in the market. This lower numinous treasure giant Bao is considered a good numinous treasure. The 8 Treasures Tower can give you 50,000 mystic spirit stones. This old man could count every numinous treasure as if it was his family's treasure. A total of 480,000 mystic spirit stones. Lin Fei would not think too much about it. 480,000 mystic spirit stones was more or less the same as what he had thought before he came. It was not a loss. Do you plan to exchange it for mystic spirit stones or pure essence pills? Lin Fei thought for a moment. How much do you want for pure essence pills? 480,000 mystic spirit stones. I can make the decision. I'll exchange it for 200,000 pure essence pills. Lin Fei was slightly stunned. The exchange rate was almost 1 to 2. Pure essence pills were indeed not simple. 200,000 it is. 200,000 pure essence pills. Lin Fei did not hesitate. After all, he had a batch of pills in his pocket. 480,000 mystic spirit stones were useless, so he might as well exchange it for pure essence pills. He did not lack mystic spirit stones. 200,000 pure essence pills. You can count them. Lin Fei did not even look at it and kept it. The reputation of the 800 Treasures Tower is obvious to all. There's no need to count. After receiving the pure essence pills, Lin Fei left the 8 Treasures Tower. Without any hesitation, he chose a small alley and transformed into a sickly middle-aged man, killing and robbing, setting fire to the Golden Belt. Lin Fei thought to himself, "It's a pity that the power of numinous treasures has been greatly reduced. Otherwise, it would definitely be sold for a high price. I'm afraid only a place like the 8 Treasures Tower would have the courage to accept all kinds of illegal goods." 200,000 pure essence pills was not a lot. It could at least be used to cultivate for a period of time. Get lost, get lost. A few groups of demonic beasts suddenly rushed out from the originally bustling street, aggressively charging over. Lin Fei hid in the crowd and looked at the few black figures. He could not help but think, it can't be such a coincidence. It's only been a month, and I've already met them here? Lin Fei said to himself, "Liang, I really don't know if you're lucky or unlucky." It turned out that one of the people who rode the demonic beasts was Liang, who had attacked him previously. From the looks of it, he had recovered quite a bit. It could be imagined that the Li family had invested a lot in Liang. From the looks of it, they seemed to be from the 8 Treasures Tower. Could it be that they're bidding for some treasure? Lin Fei's eyes turned as he immediately came up with a plan. Lin Fei, who had originally planned to go back, changed his direction and followed the group. As expected, Liang appeared outside the 800 Treasures Tower and entered with a group of scoundrels. Hee, I didn't expect to encounter such a good thing. Chapter 267. P.S. Thank you to 0 Feng Yuan 0 for the 588 Qijin coins tip. Thank you to South City Lord for the monthly vote. Thank you for your support. Babeo House was a famous place to spend money in the capital. Rich people liked to spend money in this Babeo House, while young people liked to bid for some treasures. From time to time, there would be scenes of people spending money to win a beauty smile. Liang and a group of people went to bid for the treasures happily. At night, when the evening lights were lit, Liang and a group of people staggered out from inside. Haha, this is too cool. You guys didn't see the expressions on those guys' faces just now. This is so funny. Just a group of country bumpkins who don't know the immensity of heaven and earth, daring to compete with us. At the entrance of Babeo House, Liang and a group of people laughed, loudly without any scruples. When the people nearby saw this scene, they quickly chose to disappear. Brother Yang, a group of beauties recently came over there. Let's go and take a look? A young master suggested with a smile on his face. Liang laughed. Beauties, Lousy likes them the most. After being cooped up at home for a month, I've long had a stomach full of anger. It's good to go and cool down. Brother Yang, you really need to cool down. What progress can you make in seclusion? You need to strike a balance between work and rest. One after another, it was filled with lewd words. This group of young masters rode their beasts and left in high spirits. Outside of their departure, a black-robed man walked out from behind. His face was expressionless as he immediately followed them. In the room of the inn, Lin Fei opened his eyes and a smile appeared on his face. I guessed right. Lin Fei didn't know how to describe the matter of Babeo House. They actually competed with a group of people inside and were so proud of themselves. They didn't have the style of a young master at all. I didn't expect the clone to have such a function. It should be the only ability of the clone. Lin Fei couldn't help but grin. No matter what, Lin Fei didn't expect that when he arranged for the clone to check, he would inadvertently learn a skill: stealth. Stealth was equivalent to stealth in the dark. As long as there was a dark place, the clone could sneak over and not be discovered by outsiders. What a domineering and awesome skill. In the game, it was also a top-notch skill: submerged shadow. After pondering for a while, he realized that the stealth movement divine ability should be a skill unique to the avatar. Lin Fei suspected that he had unknowingly comprehended this skill after comprehending the concept of wind. That was why the previous scene happened. A group of people riding on demonic beasts could be considered to be rampaging in the Imperial City, regardless of whether it was Liang or the other young masters. Almost all of them were from the same family. When they worked together, no one dared to say anything. After they had turned a few streets, an unexpected scene occurred. Mother f*** cur, you're courting death. How dare you steal my stuff? A figure jumped out from the street and snatched something from one of the young masters, causing that young master to fly into a rage. Chase after him and destroy him. That young master had a very bad temper. Seeing that his item had been stolen, how could he let it go so easily? If news of this were to spread, he would lose face. He would definitely take revenge on this fellow and deal with him severely. The group of people was already in a state of excitement. At that time, they didn't think much about it at all and urged the demonic beasts under them to chase after him. The person in front didn't run fast. He dodged left and right and kept fleeing into small alleys. This time, the young masters were furious. Damn it, he really dared to escape from a small alley after stealing something? Wasn't this bullying their intelligence? The young masters present were all at the mystic master realm, which was considered quite good. With the resources of their families, they didn't have the ability to break through to the next level. Everyone, don't worry. I'm the most familiar with this alley. This young master has already arranged for people to surround both ends. This young master wants to see who exactly dares to steal this young master's thing. The group of people dismounted from their demonic beasts and chased into the alley one after another. Especially when they heard the words at the beginning, they were even more excited. The alley was very long and especially quiet. Haha, that guy has nowhere to run. In the alley, that person stopped in the middle, and behind him, a group of guards rushed up. Just as they said before, they were blocking the front and back. All the young masters were excited. Usually, it wasn't easy to find something to play with. But tonight, there was something fun to play with. Don't kill him. Capture him alive for this young master. He must be captured alive. The person standing in the middle of the alley turned and rushed towards the group of young masters. It seemed that he was preparing to break out of the encirclement. In their eyes, this action was purely courting death. The distance of dozens of feet was shortened. 20 feet, 10 feet. When the distance was less than 5 feet, the black-clothed man suddenly disappeared like a ghost. Destruction. The group of young masters hesitated for a moment. In front of them, golden suns appeared. A great aura of destruction instantly appeared in front of them. A tyrannical aura of destruction swept across their bodies. Whoosh! Everyone was like glass facing the attack of this intent realm sword technique. They were immediately caught off guard and didn't have time to resist. All the young masters died one by one. The powerful sword technique erupted, causing these young masters' bodies to suffer a huge blow. The smell of blood spread in the alley. Run! Liang reacted quickly. He immediately threw a shield of runes in front of him, but he still couldn't withstand it. His whole body was sent flying. When he fell to the ground, he felt a sharp pain. One of his arms was shattered. This kid's face was full of panic. He was almost killed in the Demon Beast mountain range. It had only been more than a month, and he was attacked by a black-clothed man again. Liang really wanted to say what bad luck he had. Someone actually attacked them in a place like the imperial capital. Liang fled again. However, The black-clothed man behind him flashed again. The long sword was thrust forward, and the sharp golden aura shot out like a rainbow. Ah! With a scream, the rainbow aura blasted on Li Yang's body, and his body exploded like a watermelon. The guard who surrounded him was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. The young master they were protecting died in front of them, just like that. It was so fast that they couldn't react. When they reacted, the black-clothed man came back again. It was so fast that they couldn't react. In an instant, the group of guards followed in the footsteps of those young masters. They couldn't be more dead. The Win family. Lin Fei walked back in an imposing manner. After returning to his small courtyard, he chased the two maids out and closed the door. He was very excited. His clone came out from the dark. It was almost like a ghost, carrying a package on its body. It's really cool. It's not a problem to use my clone to deal with a group of young masters. Lin Fei was beaming with joy. It was Lin Fei's doppelganger who had attacked in the dark, especially after mastering a stealth technique. It seemed that he couldn't find a second person who could kill so easily. From the moment he saw Li Yang, Lin Fei had the intention to kill. Lin Fei, who had the intention to kill, wouldn't pay attention to it at all. This was the imperial capital. After discovering that they had entered the Babao Tower, Lin Fei's killing intent became even more resolute. This Li Yang must die, because this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create a false impression so that others wouldn't suspect him. Taking down the package and placing it on the table, Lin Fei set up a runes formation in the room, isolating all auras. After retracting his clone back into his body, he began to check the spoils of war tonight. Killing people was just a matter of convenience. Snatching their things was Lin Fei's goal. A group of tall, rich, and handsome men, especially trampling on a group of country bumpkins in the Babao Tower. Lin Fei saw it all. Such a group of tall, rich, and handsome men was equivalent to a moving treasury. It would be strange if Lin Fei wasn't tempted. As for what would happen after that, Lin Fei was very calm. He had been using the power of the metal element, so he wasn't afraid that they would suspect him. If he used the water fire lotus, it would be too eye-catching. I'm a little excited. I wonder what good things these tall, rich, and handsome men have brought. Lin Fei opened the package. This package was very big, like a small mountain. He almost couldn't bring it back. Except for the valuable things, Lin Fei didn't want the rest of the things. He believed that there would be people passing by soon, and he could let them share the firepower. Pure Yuan pills. Lin Fei found the pure Yuan pills first. The pure Yuan pills were all stored in a sumer pouch. It didn't look very big on the surface, but in fact it was very big inside. It was specially used to store the pure Yuan pills. 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, after counting. Lin Fei's eyes lit up and he almost drooled. Damn it, this group of fellows are really rich. With a few of them added together, they actually have over 4 million pure Yuan Dan. Every single one of them would bring at least 70 to 80 pure Yuan Dan with them when they go out. I have worked myself to death and only have 200,000 pure Yuan Dan. Lin Fei couldn't help but curse. This was a good deal. More than 4 million pure Yuan pills, plus the 200,000 from before. Lin Fei had nearly 5 million pure Yuan pills in his hands. The originally empty pouch suddenly bulged. Lin Fei grinned. Just with 5 million pure Yuan pills, Lin Fei's strength could increase by a large margin. Even if he didn't cultivate for the time being, he could still buy some good things. After keeping the pure Yuan pills, Lin Fei immediately cleaned up the other things. For example, the treasures that they bought from the 8 Treasures building should be said to be bought in a fit of anger. Rainbow feather clothes. A broken piece of clothing can make you guys spend so much money. What a bunch of prodigals. He threw the rainbow feather clothes to the side. Deep sea night pearl. Something to coax women again. The fist-sized night pearl released a gentle light. With one look, One could tell that this was a good thing. In the mysterious heavenly continent, the deep-sea night pearl was something to coax women. As for other things, Lin Fei couldn't think of any use for it. Red cloud phoenix crown, another bunch of idiots. Holding a fiery red phoenix crown, Lin Fei was helpless. He remembered that this phoenix crown cost no less than 200,000 pure yuan. If he could use this to cultivate, how refreshing would that be? Chapter 268. This item was indeed worthy of Lin Fei's attention. Sword case. It was something that Lin Fei was familiar with. 72 long swords were also stored in a sword case. Usually it would be stored in it. Once it was useful, it could be released immediately to deal with the enemy. This sword case was relatively luxurious, and its surface was carved like jade. At a glance, even those who didn't understand could see the extravagance of the sword case. It was undoubtedly a good item. What a sharp sword aura! Before the sword case was opened, Lin Fei's face was filled with joy. He felt a long sword soaring into the sky, as if it was going to pierce through the sky. Upper grade spirit treasure. Feeling the sword aura on the sword case, Lin Fei already knew that this long sword wasn't an ordinary item. It revealed the power of a spirit treasure. If it wasn't a middle grade spirit treasure, then it was an upper grade spirit treasure. Whoa! Opening the sword case, a buzzing sound came out of nowhere. Upper grade spirit treasure. Lin Fei was overjoyed. He grabbed the long sword with one hand, and a huge counterforce came. If it was someone else, they would definitely miss. The long sword in the sword case was pitch black and had a murderous aura that made people feel suffocated. What a fierce sword! This was the first long sword that affected Lin Fei. Even the middle grade spirit treasure, wind chasing, was inferior to this long sword. Lin Fei really couldn't figure out why the other party would have an upper grade spirit treasure. It seemed that the other party couldn't use it. In fact, speaking of which, Lin Fei was lucky. This long sword was originally a gift and hadn't been suppressed. This time, it was pure luck that Lin Fei got it before him. If it was a day later, Lin Fei wouldn't have been so lucky to get such a long sword. That young master had paid a huge price for this long sword. He had spent almost half of his fortune to obtain it with great difficulty. 10 minutes later, the black long sword was suppressed, but it still released a fierce aura. Lin Fei threw out a detection. Killing sword, grade, unknown, damaged, recoverable. Killing sword? A huge question mark popped up in Lin Fei's head. Another damaged spirit treasure? This black long sword was called Killing Sword. This name was really domineering. No wonder there was a large amount of evil chi left on it. Lin Fei suspected that this killing sword must have killed countless people to condense its killing intent. If it wasn't for the fact that his soul was strong, just the killing intent and the ferocious aura would definitely affect his mind. I wonder what is the relationship between this killing sword and the baleful black saber. For some reason, Lin Fei felt a rare familiar aura from the killing sword. As for why they were familiar, Lin Fei really could not put his finger on it. Subconsciously, Lin Fei took out the baleful black blade. It had been a long time since he had used the baleful black saber. When the baleful black saber appeared, the surging killing intent was not inferior to this killing sword. Swish, 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 a long saber and a long sword were floating in the air despite the absence of wind. This 5,000 kilograms of strength was actually unable to suppress the killing sword. Instead, it broke free from his hand. The baleful black saber and the killing sword clashed with each other's killing intent, forming an arc wave. Everything in the room was immediately affected. Caca! The table, the floor, were instantly crushed into pieces. Lin Fei's water fire lotus protected his body. Lotus leaves, saber radiance, and sword chi constantly struck down. After being shattered, they grew out again. It was abnormally terrifying. Devouring each other? Lin Fei kept retreating until he reached the edge of the room. Then he remembered something about the baleful black saber. When he saw this scene, the scene from back then completely appeared in his mind. At this moment, Lin Fei could not help but feel lucky that he had set up the rune's formation in the surroundings to block the aura. Otherwise, if it were to be spread out, it would definitely be a big problem. After the baleful black saber and the killing sword were in a stalemate, they started to attack each other in midair. The two of them clashed, metal clashing, and the aura presence was like a saber constantly shooting out in all directions. At first, the baleful black saber had the upper hand and kept suppressing the killing sword. After a period of time, Lin Fei originally thought that the baleful black saber would win, but the killing sword reversed the situation. This result surprised Lin Fei. As expected, after the two divine weapons continued to fight, the killing sword actually overlapped with the baleful black saber. On the surface, it didn't seem to be a big problem. However, from another perspective, an unbelievable scene would appear. The baleful black saber actually merged with the killing sword. The process wasn't very long and was rather slow. Lin Fei saw the slight changes. If it wasn't for his strong mental fortitude, he might have let out a long roar. Lin Fei was astonished. He was very calm in his heart. The killing sword devoured the baleful black saber. Originally, the baleful black saber had a reaction and struggled. However, as the killing sword continued to devour, the baleful black saber was completely suppressed. Such a strange and unbelievable scene appeared in Lin Fei's eyes. If an outsider mentioned it, Lin Fei would definitely say that it was impossible. However, the facts in front of him told him that such a situation did exist. A long sword devouring a long saber. It was unbelievable. After devouring it cleanly, the killing sword floated in midair and a layer of black fog appeared outside. The baleful black saber is gone just like that. Lin Fei wouldn't believe it, even if he was beaten to death. The baleful black saber was so tough that even after reaching the mystic adept realm, his battle prowess had increased tremendously. It still couldn't cause any damage to the baleful black saber. It couldn't even leave a mark. Previously, Lin Fei had thought about whether he should find a chance to forge the baleful black saber into a long sword. The quality shouldn't be too bad, at least in terms of sharpness. That would be an absolute advantage. However, who would have thought that there would be such an outcome? Lin Fei didn't expect it at all. Such a thing was indeed hard to predict. I wonder what would happen if the killing sword devoured the baleful black saber. Lin Fei removed the waterfire lotus and waited patiently. The killing sword's transformation continued. At the same time, something big happened in the capital. A few direct descendants, including the Li family, were found dead in a small alley at night. When this news spread, it instantly caused a huge uproar. The Li family had a lot of influence in the capital because they had a mystic king expert overseeing them. Thus, the Li family had always stood strong. As for the other families, they were all very powerful. They definitely had mystic, great perfection experts overseeing them, and there were at least a few of them. The difference between a mystic king and a mystic, great perfection expert was just a level. In terms of true battle prowess, the difference was not just an ordinary level. For a family with a mystic king overseeing them, as long as they made a move, killing a mystic great perfection expert was as easy as lifting a finger. With such a huge incident happening in the capital, and so many direct descendants dead, the impact was extremely bad. The other families were in a state of panic, afraid that they would be labeled as the culprit behind the scenes. If it was just the disciples of the other families who died, it would at most cause a small impact. Now that a direct descendant of the Li family had died, and one with extremely valiant battle prowess and considerable talent, it was different. Now that he was killed in a small alley without even a corpse left, it was not an ordinary tragedy. The situation in the capital instantly changed unpredictably, and at the same time, there was a sense of apprehension. Following this incident, the entire capital produced a new round of situations. Everyone was looking at the Li family to see what decision they would make. In reality, the Li family did not disappoint them. First, they announced the arrest of the culprit behind the scenes. First, almost all the disciples of the families who participated in the auction at 8 Treasures Pavilion were brought back to accept their investigation. Anyone who disobeyed would be treated as a suspect for the culprit. They would be killed without mercy and then questioned for their crimes. It had to be said that this thunderous strike from the Li family had indeed caused many people to panic and feel uneasy. As a direct descendant, just this alone made people unable to look down on Li Yang, especially the pressure brought by his death. No one dared to blame the Li family because the Li family had the right to speak. Even the imperial family of the capital had to give the Li family some face, especially since a disciple of the family who died was one of the more talented ones in the family. As the main culprit this time, Lin Fei was completely unaware of everything that had happened outside. His gaze was fixed on the killing sword floating in the air. This is the killing sword that devoured the baleful black saber. Lin Fei looked at the killing sword in disbelief. The killing sword now looked different from before. First, it was not a fierce aura, but a sharp aura. It was a sharp aura of metal, and it had the aura of a sword that could destroy all things. Before, the killing sword first had a murderous aura, then a fierce aura. Looking at it now, those who did not know would think that this was an extremely sharp sword, a sword that could destroy all things. Lin Fei instinctively used the detection sword. Killing sword +1, highest grade numinous treasure, power unknown. Seeing this result, Lin Fei was once again in a dilemma. Devouring a +1, could it be that this killing sword could continuously improve? But after devouring the baleful black saber, the grade was only of the highest grade. Only of the highest grade. If Lin Fei's thoughts were to spread outside, it would definitely cause a huge commotion. Among the numinous treasures, as long as one had enough pure essence pills, it was not difficult to find a lower grade numinous treasure. Middle grade numinous treasures came second. Upper grade numinous treasures would require a huge price. Generally, those who could get their hands on upper grade numinous treasures were all experts with a certain status and position. Upper grade numinous treasures needed the strength to use. Otherwise, they would only be treasures in the eyes of others. As for supreme grade numinous treasures, they were really rare and precious. Even Mystic King experts might not have a supreme grade numinous treasure. It was already easy for them to have a half supreme grade numinous treasure. Once the news of supreme grade numinous treasure was spread, it would definitely cause a bloodbath. In terms of influence, it was not inferior to the Sword Emperor's inheritance. Why do I feel like my heart is moving at will? Lin Fei grabbed the killing sword with one hand and instantly felt like his heart was moving at will. Metal intent. Swish, swish, swish. A trace of metal intent was integrated. The killing sword shot out countless golden sword rays, and the furniture not far away was instantly blasted into pieces. It was even more terrifying than before. What a terrifying power! Lin Fei's heart was moved. Previously, when the sword ray attacked, Mystic King experts were instantly killed. Mystic King experts did not have it easy either. Previously, when he executed the wind-chasing sword, a middle-grade numinous treasure, he felt like he was stuck by something. Lin Fei thought that he had comprehended it thoroughly. After experiencing the scene before him, Lin Fei suddenly realized that he lacked a weapon to withstand it. If the killing sword is suitable for the metal intent, then wouldn't it be difficult to execute the wind intent? Lin Fei frowned. In terms of comprehension, the wind intent was superior, while the metal intent was inferior, replacing the metal intent with the wind intent. Lin Fei's eyes lit up once more. That works too! A wind-like aura seemed to fly past him, and he actually had a deeper comprehension of the wind intent. This was a feeling that he had never felt before. This was the soft side of the wind. The sword aura changed, and the cool breeze instantly turned into a gust of wind, as though it was going to tear a hole in the void. Thereafter, the gust of wind turned into a gentle wind, and the change between hard and soft kept on going back and forth. It was exceptionally smooth. It can't be. He comprehended it so quickly. Lin Fei was dumbfounded. This change was beyond his imagination. Lin Fei had always kept Uncle Master Zhang Wen's words in mind. When the wind sword reached the level of softness within hardness and hardness within softness, it meant that the wind sword had reached greater mastery. Lin Fei had always thought that he would have to wait a year before he could reach greater mastery. But now, it seemed like he didn't even need a year. To think that such a simple comprehension came from a longsword. What a great harvest this time! Lin Fei soared to the heavens in a single step. Now that he had cultivated the wind sword to great perfection, he could execute the last 3 moves. Now, even if Lin Fei didn't use a sword, he could use his finger as a sword to reach greater mastery. Coupled with his comprehension of the wind intent, his fearsome swordsmanship would become a nightmare for others. Softness within hardness, hardness within softness. This was the most fearsome swordsmanship. Previously, he was still excited for the 5 million pure yuan pills. The wind sword had reached greater mastery, increasing his battle prowess imperceptibly. Pure yuan pills couldn't compare. Unbeknownst to him, Lin Fei had already grasped the Wind Dao, the great thousand world. There were Daos everywhere. When a Dao was comprehended, one would become the king of the Daos. Just like Lin Fei, who had comprehended the wind intent, he had now comprehended the core of the wind intent. It could be said that he had become an expert in the Wind Dao. Ding! Congratulations, player, on leveling up the wind sword and reaching the Dao level. Reward, 50,000 points. Before Lin Fei could digest the news, the system had given him a surprise. Damn, this is a reward too? After a moment of shock, he beamed with joy and excitement. 50,000 points. Originally, he only had a few thousand points. In the blink of an eye, he had gained 50,000 points. Very soon, Lin Fei noticed that the system had hinted at Dao. Dao, what is that? As a rookie, Lin Fei had cultivated for less than a year, and there were many things he didn't know. And this Dao was one of them. Luckily, Lin Fei wasn't stupid. Could it be that this Dao is the wind intent that I have comprehended? This is a Dao. This conjecture was already very close to the existence of the Dao. If Uncle Master Zhongwen was here, or if he was in the Divine Force sect, Lin Fei would definitely know about the existence of Dao. It was something that was extremely difficult to comprehend. Comprehending the wind intent was just a step on the right path. Chapter 269. P.S. Thanks to Xil for the monthly vote. Early the next morning, it was a refreshing autumn day. The weather was perfect. Lin Fei was invited by Wenru Xue. When Wenru Xue saw Lin Fei, she immediately felt that something was different. A strange look appeared in her eyes, something that had not been there before. What's wrong? Is there something on my face? Lin Fei smiled to himself. Wenru Xue shook her head. No, I just feel that Master Shuangmu is different from before. I can't tell what it is exactly. Lin Fei was surprised and thought, girls have a different reaction. It should be that after I realized the existence of Dao, my body has changed. I didn't expect that I couldn't hide it from Wenru Xue. How come? Lin Fei denied. I'm still the same person. How can I change? You must have thought too much yesterday. Hearing this, Wenru Xue nodded subconsciously. Maybe it's true. Last night, Lin Fei studied the killing sword and the Dao. He realized he didn't sleep well for the whole night. He was still full of energy. The breakthrough of Dao had a little influence on him. Master Shuangmu This is a rule of our family. Please don't take it to heart. Wen Wuxiue looked at Lin Fei with shame. Wen Wuxiue said apologetically when they appeared in a martial arts practice field. Lin Fei shook his head. It's okay. Every family has its own rules. I understand this very well. You don't have to feel pressured. After appearing in the martial arts practice field, Lin Fei knew what was going on. In order to return a favor to Uncle Zhongwen, Lin Fei was surprisingly not angry. He was much calmer, as if what happened in front of him was no different than usual. Since his view was different, his mentality was naturally different. When Wuxiue glanced at Master Shuang Mu secretly, seeing that Master Shuang Mu was not angry, she secretly heaved a sigh of relief. She was afraid that her words would cause dissatisfaction. It seems that the disciples of your Wen family don't welcome me very much, Lin Fei suddenly said to Wen Wuxiue. Wen Wuxiue already knew what Shuang Mu was talking about. Even though Wen Wuxiue was only at the Mystic Master intermediate stage, she could still feel the gazes from the surroundings, which carried a faint sense of resentment. Master Shuang Mu, I'm really sorry. I didn't know this would happen. Wen Wuxiue smiled apologetically. This is the Wen family. They are just some branch family disciples. It's not their turn to do anything. Lin Fei's perception was very sensitive. When he stepped into the martial arts practice field, he immediately felt something. When one's strength reached a certain level, even a single glance, a small one at that, would immediately cause an expert to react. Miss Wen, I was just joking. Lin Fei said with a smile, I promise to help you. In my eyes, the rest are just SOSO. They won't amount to anything. At this moment, the familiar Wen Qiu walked over. Brat, I didn't think you would dare to come here. Wen Wuxiue's face turned cold. Wen Qiu, what are you doing here? Wen Qiu said sarcastically, this is the Wen family's martial arts practice field. Can't I come to see this Master Shuang Mu? I think Wen Qiu is right. Let's get to know Master Shuang Mu first. Is there anything wrong with that? Another person walked out from behind Wen Qiu. It was Wen Tianya from before. Wen Wuxiue said coldly, You, Wen Tianya, are always scheming. Would you take the initiative to get to know someone? This is very rare. Exposing Wen Tianya's background in front of others was no less than a reminder to Lin Fei. Wen Tianya didn't show any anger on his face, even though he had been exposed. Instead, he revealed a modest smile and said, Sister Wuxiue, fighting and killing are things that the lower class do. The upper class should use their brains. That's the way of the king. What do you think? After he finished speaking, he pointed at his head. Wen Wuxiue did not give him face. That's not necessarily true. Wen Tianya smiled again and looked at Master Shuang Mu. You're the Master Shuang Mu who taught Wen Qiu a lesson, right? This person was quite scheming. Lin Fei immediately gave an evaluation. If there's no one else, it should be me, Lin Fei said with a smile. Wen Tianya said, If I were you, I would definitely leave the Wen family. You have to know that it's easy to fail miserably if you walk too much at night. Lin Fei chuckled. Leave? Why should I leave? That's all I have to say. You'll understand in the future. Wen Tianya turned to leave. Wen Qiu glared at him before following him with hatred. Master Shuang Mu, that was an accident. Wen Wuxiue explained hurriedly. Lin Fei shook his head. These are the collateral disciples of the Wen family, right? Yes, the one who spoke just now was Wen Tianya. Wen Wuxiue explained, among the collateral disciples, Wen Tianya is the one who is better at scheming. He's the best among the collateral disciples. So he's the best of the collateral disciples. No wonder he's so scheming. Lin Fei said, however, this person is looking at the sky from the bottom of a well. No matter how powerful his schemes are without absolute strength, it's nothing more than an illusion. Wen Wuxiue's heart tightened as she understood what he meant. Wen Tianya and the rest were in trouble. When Wen Tianya came just now, Wen Wuxiue knew very well that they were here for revenge. The martial arts arena was filled with disciples of the Wen family. On the left were the collateral disciples of the Wen family, and on the right were the direct disciples. It was clear at a glance. Do you see that? The one in black over there is the helper that Wen Wuxiue invited back. He doesn't look like much. He's just ordinary. How powerful can he be? I really don't understand why Wen Qiu would be humiliated by a brat. If it were me, I'd definitely give that brat a bloody nose and a swollen face. The collateral disciples and direct disciples began to discuss. The Wen family's clan leader and elders came out personally this time to select suitable helpers for the qualifiers. The battle of the decade was of utmost importance, and they had to take it seriously. As mentioned earlier, the internal problems of the family were serious. The Wen family was no exception. In the battle of the decade, be it the collateral disciples or direct disciples, all of them sought outside help in order to obtain the qualifications to fight for their own lineage. On the martial arts arena, apart from the disciples, there were also invited experts. Every single one of them looked extraordinary. For the sake of these external help, every lineage had sacrificed a lot this time. After the elders and clan leader came out, the martial arts arena quietened down. An elder with a long beard walked out. Those who are not important leave, except for the core members. After the Wen family elder came up, his loud and clear voice swept through the entire martial arts arena. Late-stage mystic spirit strength. An elder had the strength of a late-stage mystic spirit strength. The martial arts arena was quickly emptied. The Wen family's dozen or so lineages all gathered on the martial arts arena. Your Wen family isn't bad, Lin Fei said casually. This is our Wen family's second elder. Wen Wuxiue said. So it was the second elder. Lin Fei muttered in his heart. It seemed that the Wen family's first elder's strength should be at the mystic spirit great circle. After traveling for a while, Lin Fei could already understand that a mystic spirit great circle expert was enough to guard a family. Mystic king experts were another matter. After a passionate speech, the second elder of the Wen family began to announce the selection. There were a total of 3 people selected. They would represent the Wen family and secure their current position, instead of being kicked out of this core position of the Chamber of Commerce. The first round, movement techniques, the second elder of the Wen family announced. It turned out that the Wen family selection was not done step by step. They set up 3 thresholds to select the experts within the 3 thresholds. It was not purely for sparring. Is this how the Wen family chooses? Lin Fei couldn't help but ask. When Wuxiue explained, the Wen family chooses according to the events of the decade assembly. The first round is movement techniques, the second is attack power, and the third is sparring. It is divided into elimination rounds. Oh, Lin Fei replied. That's simple. Master Shuang Mu will definitely win the battle. The first round, movement techniques. How far could a breath of true origin fly? It looked easy, but in reality it was not so easy to execute. On the contrary, it was extremely difficult. Lin Fei didn't think of hiding anything. He used 50% of his strength and took first place. It could be said that he had shocked everyone in the martial arts field. In Lin Fei's opinion, as long as enough pressure was given to a group of enemies, they would panic no matter how good their state of mind was. Lin Fei's taking first place in movement techniques brought a great impact. The Wen family elder noticed that such an expert could fly 30 to 40 feet with a breath of true origin. It was already commendable. When Wuxiue suddenly became the center of attention, the collateral disciples were nervous. The second round, attack power. The Wen family took out a black stone made of special materials. When the power landed on it, a virtual number would appear. This number was the opponent's attack power. This kind of attack power test had always been a useful method in the family to determine the change in one's strength. Whether it was the collateral disciples or the direct descendants, They all used all their strength in the second round to suppress Wen Rushue's influence. In the second round, Lin Fei took first place again with one punch. Whether it was the elders or the clan leader who had been watching, they all knew that there was such a person. This Master Shuang Mu is the expert invited by Xiao Shui. He has a good eye. He took first place in both movement techniques and attack power. Xiao Shui has spent a lot of effort on this. Xiao Shui is a good child. I heard that when she came back, she encountered danger. It was this Master Shuang Mu who killed all the enemies and prevented the loss of the caravan. These elders were obviously on Wen Rushue's side. The first round of movement techniques and the second round of attack power are just simple tests. The most important thing is the last round. The most important thing is to learn from each other. Being good at the beginning doesn't mean that it will be good at the end. Among the collateral disciples, we invited several experts this time. They might not be worse than Master Shuang Mu. Chapter 270. Lin Fei took first place twice in a row. First in movement technique, shocking everyone. First in attack power, shocking everyone. Even though it was just a small selection, for some people it was quite stressful. Damn it, how could this happen? When Qiu's eyes were about to spit fire, the situation seemed to have changed. Tianya, the situation doesn't seem right. That kid actually took first place twice. Even the elders are talking about it. The one who hated him the most was definitely Wen Qiu. Last time, he was beaten to the point that he didn't dare to go out. Every time Wen Qiu saw the direct disciple's eyes, she would be filled with anger. She wanted to chop Master Shuang Mu into 8 pieces with a machete so that she could vent her anger. Whoosh! When Tianya opened the folding fan in his hand, displaying the scenery of high mountains and flowing water. Calm down, calm down. When Qiu said, how can we be calm? If he gets the qualification, we can only watch helplessly. When Tianya smiled, don't you think that Master Shuang Mu's outstanding performance is more beneficial to us? Beneficial? When Qiu's anger turned into laughter. Haha, I'm still not calm enough. Brother Tianya, don't be offended. When Tianya snorted. What Master Shuang Mu? Let him be happy for a while. Don't you think that falling from the clouds is a wonderful feeling? By the way, how's the arrangement of the expert I asked you to arrange? As for the latter part of the sentence, the two of them transmitted their voices over and over again. I found an assassin to replace someone according to your instructions. When the time comes, I'll let him fight Master Shuang Mu. Wen Qiu was very proud. When Tianya heaved a sigh of relief. What's his strength? Early stage, cryptic spirit. Good, good. When Tianya said, I'm afraid that Master Shuang Mu won't expect us to find an assassin to deal with that kid. When the sparring is tense, he'll kill him in one blow. Hee. This plan succeeded thanks to Brother Tianya's help. I've already contacted a few pretty girls last night. When Qiu's lewd laughter came, the third round sparring. This round was the most important. If it wasn't for the fact that the younger generation of the Wen clan lacked true experts, the Wen clan would never have looked for external help. But then again, for the position of the chief merchant, no matter which family it was, they all liked to look for experts to help them. Sparring in the training field. It was also an elimination match. The remaining 3 would have the qualifications to represent them in the competition. This elimination round was obviously a little different. Master Shuang Mu, this year's situation is a bit different. The competition is divided into defending the arena. When Rushua's expression was not very good as she walked in from outside, Lin Fei had already noticed the 3 arenas. Previously, he was still puzzled. However, after hearing Wen Rushue's explanation, he immediately understood what the purpose of this arena was. He could not think of a second purpose. Defending the arena is quite interesting. Lin Fei stood up. It's easier and faster than I thought. I can go back and rest after finishing my work. You want to defend the arena? Wen Rushue exclaimed. When Rushue knew Master Shuang Mu's strength very well. Today, there was even a mystic spirit realm expert in the martial arts practice field of the One Clan. Lin Fei was amused. Why not? But they want to find trouble with you. That when Rushue was referring to was naturally the branch family members. Lin Fei blinked. Actually, I was waiting for them. Is Master Shuang Mu going to defend the arena? When Lin Fei moved, he immediately attracted attention. Defending the arena required extremely strong strength, especially the dozens of branches of the One Clan. It was equivalent to defending the arena against 4 to 5 martial artists. It was not easy, as expected of the person invited by Wen Rushue. He is really bold. Wen Tianya was also slightly stunned. Wen Qiu was anxious. Isn't this better? When the time comes, we can arrange for assassins to go up and kill that brat. Wen Tianya said. No hurry. Wen Qiu was more anxious than anyone else. If she did not torture Master Shuang Mu, she would not be able to eat and sleep in peace. Facing Wen Tianya, who was good at using stratagems, Wen Qiu did not dare to be angry. Because Wen Tianya was famous for his ruthlessness, she did not dare to offend him. With a leap, Lin Fei crossed a distance of more than 10 feet in one breath and landed on the arena. Who's first? We can go back after the fight. Whoosh! The martial arts practice field was silent. He's too arrogant. So arrogant, let's fight. Whoever goes up and brings this brat down, I will reward them handsomely. The people below started to make a ruckus. Among them, the direct disciples were the loudest. Lin Fei's words were too hurtful. Did he really think that all the experts were like cabbages? To be able to fight so easily, did he think he was a genius? As expected, a martial artist from the side branch had the strength of a late-stage mystic master. I am Wu Ho, please advise me. The skinny man cupped his hands and said, Make your move. Lin Fei cupped his hands and said indifferently. Wu Ho's face flashed a trace of anger. Soul-locking palm. Surging true origin surged out of his body and transformed into countless of pitch-black chains, wailing like ghosts and howling like wolves. The dense chi interweaved and transformed into a black true origin hand that grabbed towards Lin Fei's throat. Its power was extraordinary. Yellow upper grade, soul-locking palm, it lives up to its name. Facing this technique, Lin Fei's face maintained an indifferent smile, but his eyes flashed a trace of disapproval. With this broken attack, you want to defeat me? You are too far off. Rumble. A true origin hand appeared in midair. Its aura was not inferior to the soul-locking palm. It slammed down and welcomed the opponent's soul-locking palm. Such strong true origin. Rumble. Once again, a powerful wave of chi spread out in all directions. The soul-locking palm was instantly destroyed by the true origin hand and could not hold on for long. As for Wu Ho, the true origin hand's aura did not stop, and he was flung off the stage. He lost so quickly. The people below the stage who were prepared to watch a good show were all stunned. Wu Ho, who was flung off the stage, lost wholeheartedly. The soul-locking palm was defeated by the true origin hand, and he had nothing to say. Who's the second? Lin Fei said lazily. This time, the side branch disciples and direct disciples were all depressed. Let me. Without letting Lin Fei wait for long, the second martial artist quickly rushed onto the stage. Where did Wen Rushue find such an expert? This Master Shuang Mu is too terrifying. He defeated 3 martial artists in a short period of time, and they were all defeated in one move. He used their attacks to break their attacks, palm techniques, fist techniques, and leg techniques. If he can block 2 more, Master Shuang Mu will be qualified. In the martial arts arena, whether it was the side branch disciples or the direct disciples, at this moment they no longer thought that they were infallible, but looked at him as if he was a monster. How could this Master Shuang Mu be so powerful? It was already amazing to have good fist techniques, but this person was not only good at fist techniques, but also in other aspects. His body was full of true origin, and he was able to defeat the martial artists on the stage with ordinary attacks. Before, the Wen family disciples were angry because the opponent was too arrogant and did not take them seriously. After defeating 3 martial artists in a row, he defeated them with similar moves. This made them sincerely convinced. Xiantian continent was such a place you could look down on someone, but you could not look down on someone stronger than you. The strong had always been worshipped. I wonder who will be the next one. Among the 3 arenas, only Lin Fei's arena was the most lively. Me. While everyone was guessing, another martial artist flew out from the crowd. The aura of the great perfection was not concealed at all, which told everyone that the person who attacked was a mysterious master great perfection warrior. I am good at using the sword. If you use your sword techniques to break my sword techniques, I admit defeat. The person looked serious, and there was a long sword on his back. Lin Fei was still so calm. Make your move as you wish. Wow. There was another uproar from below. This Master Shuang Mu also knew sword techniques? Are you kidding me? All the elders of the Wen family looked at this Master Shuang Mu as if he was a monster. He was not strong, and they didn't know how he cultivated his strong true origin. It was quite amazing that he defeated the opponent with the power of true origin. Now he used sword techniques to break it. Could it be that this person's sword technique was also powerful? Everyone couldn't help but guess. Swish! As soon as this person attacked, the long sword buzzed with a soft intent. Long sword continuous. The long sword slashed out. Layers upon layers of sword shadows, and a lingering aura enveloped the arena. The sword chi was like raindrops, appearing on the arena in an instant, and the blue stone on the arena instantly turned into a sword mark. What an affectionate aura! It was the first time that Lin Fei saw someone who could use sword techniques to such an extent. After the sword was drawn, the lingering aura of the lover would first affect the mind. Lin Fei originally thought it was the artistic conception, but now it seemed that it was another sword intent. To exert such a powerful sword intent, the comprehension of the sword technique must be the most powerful one that Lin Fei had seen so far. If he comprehended the artistic conception, he would definitely be a powerful opponent. Like the wind. The lingering sword intent and the continuous raindrops were suddenly blown away by a breeze. The original lingering raindrops disappeared in an instant, and the arena returned to its original appearance. I lost! That person flew down from the arena and directly admitted defeat. That is Sun Yang of the affectionate sword. I didn't expect that he would lose so quickly. The sword technique of Master Shuang Mu just now was so terrifying. It seems that one of the qualifications will belong to this Master Shuang Mu if there are no accidents. I wonder who will challenge Master Shuang Mu in the last one. Sun Yang, the affectionate sword, was famous. Everyone had heard of him, but they didn't expect that he would lose so quickly. Similarly, they didn't expect that Master Shuang Mu's strength was even more powerful, especially his exquisite sword technique. They didn't even know what sword technique he had just used. The head of the Wen family and the elders all stood up subconsciously and looked at Master Shuang Mu on the arena in shock, not knowing what to say. Chapter 271. The Wen clan was still shocked by Master Shuang Mu's performance. The investigation at the scene where the direct descendant of the Li family was killed was still ongoing, and it looked like the flowers were about to fall into the water. A gray-robed old man appeared at the scene. Ever since the incident where a family disciple was killed, this small alley had been sealed off, and no one was allowed to enter. Those who had picked up things in the alley before were all found out. As for whether they could survive, it was unknown, but the result would definitely not be good. Master, Liang died here. Beside the gray-robed man stood a middle-aged man with a hooked nose. His tone was extremely polite, and behind him there were also a few guards scattered around on guard. No hurry. The gray-robed man walked in the alley. In the blink of an eye, he walked back and forth and checked the scene once. The Li clan's disciple did indeed die here. This is the first scene. There's no need to look anymore. The gray-robed man spoke. There's a large amount of metal element energy left in the alley. It should be a martial artist who cultivates metal element cultivation techniques. He is extremely skilled. Your disciple was killed by a fatal blow. During this period, he used the rune's shield, so he was unavoidably injured. The middle-aged man with a hooked nose had an indiscernible expression on his face. He only nodded slightly. This hooked nose was an elder of the Li clan's law enforcement hall. His nickname was Gue Jian Cho, Elderly Cho. The huge Li clan was divided into several branches, and the law enforcement hall was one of them. Any powerful clan would have a law enforcement hall. The existence of the law enforcement hall was nothing more than to deal with the clan's disciples who violated the rules. This was the first function. The second function was the one in front of them, to capture the various enemies of the Li clan. Li Yong was killed, so the law enforcement hall naturally had to find out the truth and find the murderer behind the scenes. This time, the one who died was a direct descendant disciple, Li Yong, who had a chance of becoming a core disciple. The Li clan was furious. It was not easy to nurture a talented disciple. Losing one was equivalent to weakening the Li clan's strength, even though this strength would only appear after a few years, or even decades. The Li clan was furious, so the law enforcement hall began to investigate. The law enforcement hall elder, Li Cho, immediately investigated everything. As a matter of fact, he invited a member of the clan to investigate everything that happened and find the murderer behind the scenes. "Master, can we begin?" Li Cho said coldly. The reason why Li Cho was nicknamed Ghost Worry was because Li Cho had always been so gloomy and cold, causing people to not dare to approach him. He was like a venomous snake in the night, and anyone who was targeted would receive a cruel lesson. That was why he had the nickname Ghost Worry, which meant that even ghosts would worry when they saw him. All right. The gray-clothed man was expressionless. He took out an item and spat it out. A mist of blood filled the small alley. Reveal. Following the shout, a ripple appeared in the alley. It was a kind of existence that could not be seen. It was like a black fog that gathered on top of the red fog. Immediately after, a screen appeared in the sky. A scene appeared in the sky screen. The gray-robed man's face turned pale as his blood essence was consumed. If Lin Fei was here, he would definitely be shocked by the power of the Li family. He was a level 5 runes master. At the same time, he was also the master of runes who set up special runes formations. This kind of runes master was not easy to find. For the Li family to be able to invite him to be a guardian, it could be seen that the Li family was not simple. If Lin Fei knew that the Li family had invited such a formation runes master, he would definitely make sure that the Li family would not be able to find any clues. In the sky screen, the scene was constantly changing, like passing clouds and smoke. Then, the scene in the sky screen turned into night once again. In the alley, a familiar figure appeared. Li Chio's gloomy face shot out 2 rays of cold light, revealing an aura that no one could resist. The scene from that night repeated in the sky screen, from the beginning of the killing to the end of the leaving. Even though it had only been a moment, it was already enough for the Li family. Puffed. The gray-clothed man spat out another mouthful of blood. His complexion was extremely poor. "I've tried my best." The sky screen in front of him shattered and disappeared. The person behind him took out a cup. After the gray-clothed man drank it, his complexion recovered a lot and he no longer looked so weak. Li Chio said, "Master Shang Kong, can you find out the specific whereabouts of this person?" Shang Kong shook his head. "It's very difficult. This person did not show his face from the beginning to the end. He was purely dressed in black. Forgive me for being powerless." Li Chio was greatly disappointed. Was the trail going to end here? He originally thought that Master Shang Kong would use a special method to find the killer behind the scenes and finally uproot them. But now it seemed that the problem was very big. Li Qiu said, "Is there no way at all?" Shan Kong said awkwardly, "Chasing and killing the enemy is not my forte. If Elder Li wants to find the opponent, maybe you can find someone. Maybe you can find the opponent." Li Qiu said, "Who?" "Rat King." Li Qiu suddenly said, "Oh, it's him." When family's martial arts practice field, Lin Fei was still standing on the stage. Facing this abnormal master Shuangmu, whether it was the direct descendants or the collateral descendants, they all began to think, was it appropriate to waste an opportunity? Master Shuang Mu had defeated 4 challengers in a row. If he won again, he would be qualified. Under such circumstances, who would be willing to go up? Damn it, this kid is really strange. Wen Qiu was already full of anger. It was all caused by the blow. He doubted whether the killer he hired had the confidence to kill Master Shuangmu. Wen Tianya's face showed seriousness for the first time. He's really hard to deal with. Wen Tianya said, "I really don't know what kind of mysterious technique he cultivates. His true essence is so thick. No wonder he could suppress you back then." Wen Qiu said, "You still have the mood to joke. That kid is about to take one of the 3 places. At that time, the boat will rise with the tide. If we want to do anything, the family will not allow it." When he said the word family, he revealed a rare fear. In the selection, they could tamper with it. If the result was confirmed, no matter how much courage they had, they would not dare to do anything. In the past, there were several family disciples who tampered with important matters. In the end, without exception, they were all executed. They even implicated the branch behind them, causing their vitality to be greatly damaged for several years. When Tianya shook his head, "I know that. Unless he's an idiot, no one would make a fuss about this. I don't want to die like this. Let me ask you now, do you think he can defeat that assassin?" Wen Qiu showed a rare hesitation. "I don't think so. Although the killer I hired is only an early-stage cryptic spirit killer, he has already assassinated several middle-stage cryptic spirit experts. Killing a mystic adept realm kid shouldn't be a big problem." Little did he know that there was actually a trace of doubt in his words. Wen Qiu just did not care about it. When Tianya smiled, "Then it's settled." When Qiu made up her mind, "I will let that killer go up immediately." When Tianya said, "Let's watch the show." On the arena, Lin Fei defeated 4 martial artists in a row. On the arena, the happiest person was Wen Rushue. "Miss, our Wen clan might have hope." Guan Mingchong walked up without anyone noticing. "Uncle Guan, why are you here? Why don't you rest and recuperate?" Guan Mingchong smiled happily. "I was resting, but after hearing Master Shuang Mu's amazing performance, I specially came to have a look." When Rushue smiled, this time, "Thanks to Uncle Guan's reminder, I almost missed a good thing." Guan Mingchong said, "This is what this old servant should do. Master Shuang Mu's strength is far beyond imagination. I really don't know where he came from. In the future, he will definitely be famous in the continent." Someone went up. When Rushue frowned, Guan Mingchong said, "A mere early-stage cryptic spirit martial artist. Master Shuang Mu should be able to deal with him." The early-stage cryptic spirit martial artist went up, attracting everyone's attention again. "This one is Mu Kuei." The person on the arena had a very cold aura, making people feel very uncomfortable. "Make your move." Lin Fei was the same as before. Early-stage cryptic spirit martial artist. Lin Fei did not take it to heart. When Mu Kuei moved, Lin Fei could not help but frown, feeling puzzled. "This person has killing intent towards me, and quite a lot of it. Is he here to kill me?" Lin Fei was very sensitive to things like killing intent, even though the other party had hidden it perfectly. From the moment the other party had stepped onto the stage, that killing intent had been directed at him. As long as one wasn't an idiot, they would be able to tell what was going on. What a fast speed! With a thought, the person appeared behind Lin Fei. With a shake of his left hand, a dagger slid down, and with a flash, it pierced towards Lin Fei's neck. This attack was to kill Lin Fei. Killing intent was revealed. On the martial arts field, everyone could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. This Mu Kuei early-stage cryptic spirit martial artist speed was really too fast, almost making people unable to react. Many people asked themselves, how could they block this move? You want to kill me? It had to be said that this Mu Kuei was very powerful, but unfortunately he encountered Lin Fei. Mu Kuei was shocked. How did he know? In the eyes of outsiders, this attack did not have any killing intent, but the other party's voice transmission had revealed his purpose. As an assassin, he quickly calmed down. Empty. At such a close distance, the dagger in Mu Kuei's hand pierced through a shadow, which had never happened before. In terms of speed, there were not many people in the capital who could compare to Lin Fei, let alone Mu Kuei. He only had an advantage in speed, but it was impossible to kill Lin Fei. You don't want to say, do you? I also know that you are someone sent by the Wind family. A disdainful voice sounded from behind. The dagger slashed, and with a flash of white light, the target was Lin Fei's neck. Missed again. The second attack missed again. Mu Kuei finally realized that he had encountered a terrifying enemy. From the day he became an assassin, with the speed of Mu Kuei's hands, coupled with his extremely fast reaction, few people could defend against his attacks in close combat. Today he missed twice in a row and did not see the other party's shadow and was even seen through. This was something he had never encountered before. Miss, the situation is not good. When Rushue did not see anything, but the battle in the arena was more dangerous. What's going on, Uncle Guan? That Mu Kuei wants to kill Master Shuang Mu. Guan Mingchong said in a serious tone, staring at the arena. Impossible. When Rushue said in a questioning tone, Guan Mingchong shook his head. This person is very powerful. It seems to be a spar, but in fact it is a killing move. Don't forget, your Uncle Guan used to be an assassin. This person's method is very similar to an assassin's. When Rushue trusted Uncle Guan very much, and her face turned cold, could it be? The smart when Rushue already knew what was going on. It was obvious that someone wanted to kill Master Shuang Mu, and she could not help but suspect someone. In the arena, the situation was a close call. It seems that you are stubborn. Then go to hell. Lin Fei sneered. He was already sure that this person was here to kill him. Explode. A low voice came from Lin Fei's throat. A muffled sound came from Mu Kuei's mouth, and then he immediately spat out a lot of blood, which contained fragments of his internal organs. Mu Kuei's breathing became weak, and his eyes widened. You are vicious! With a plop, Mu Kuei fell to the ground and stopped breathing. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth and dyed the arena red. He was dead. The elders of the Wind clan stood up again, or rather, they were scared out of their wits. An early-stage cryptic spirit expert died just like that? How did he die? As for the dead, the Wind clan did not care. Those with status and background would not necessarily participate in the selection to fight for the Wind clan. The death of one person naturally did not affect them. The important thing was that they had sent out an expert this time, a trump card. They probably did not expect that after understanding the path of Tao, Lin Fei's battle strength could be said to have increased more than 10 times. Facing the wind sword that had mastered the great accomplishment realm, Lin Fei could already kill people at will. Just now, he used the sword chi to kill Mu Kuei. Mu Kuei's death. On the training field, Wen Tianya and Wen Qiu were so scared that they broke out in cold sweat. Dead? How could he be dead? Wen Qiu was already covered in cold sweat. In order to hire an assassin to kill Master Shuang Mu, they had spent a lot of money. Now that the assassin had died in the arena, how to solve this problem was still a big problem. Don't panic, don't panic. Wen Tianya took a deep breath and desperately tried to calm himself down. An early-stage cryptic spirit assassin was killed silently. When Tianya felt that there was suddenly a sharp sword on his head, as if the other party could kill him at any time. This person could not be provoked. As a martial artist, they were not afraid of anything except unknown danger. For example, the scene on the arena just now. The early-stage cryptic spirit Mu Kuei was not weak at all, but after a few rounds he died silently, even though they knew that there was something wrong with his internal organs. No one could figure out how he did it. Wen Tianya did not know, and neither did Wen Qiu. Now that the two of them were having a headache, it was their turn to have a headache after the assassin was killed. Just at this moment, Lin Fei's gaze shot over. It seemed to be casual, but in fact it was directed at them. Wen Tianya could sit still, but Wen Qiu was different. Chapter 272. P.S. Thank you to 0 Feng Yuan 0 for your 100 Qijin coins tip. Thank you to Pastoral Song in the Wind for your 2 monthly tickets. Thank you for your support. It's the end of the month. It was fine that Wen Qiu fell. There was nothing surprising about it, and no one would pay attention to it. However, Wen Qiu was taught a lesson last time. Fear lingered in her heart. This time, she specially found an assassin to deal with Lin Fei. Unexpectedly, the assassin died in the hands of Lin Fei in the blink of an eye. Especially when Lin Fei looked over. It was like a sharp, long sword piercing through the last, life-saving straw. It struck her fragile spirit, causing her spirit to collapse. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Wen Qiu babbled nonsense. Swoosh. Everyone's gaze fell on Wen Qiu. I was wrong. I shouldn't have found an assassin to deal with you. I beg you, please don't kill me. Wen Qiu struggled on the ground. Her face was pale. Wen Tianya's face was as pale as an incandescent lamp. Shut up, you idiot! The fan that had been swaying fell to the ground. Wen Tianya pounced forward, wanting to shut Wen Qiu up. Cold sweat flowed down his forehead. He regretted finding such an idiot who couldn't even withstand a glance from the other party. Originally, everyone was still watching the show. After hearing Wen Qiu's words, they couldn't help but look at each other, especially those branch family members. Their faces turned black. Wen Qiu didn't conceal it. Therefore, everyone in the training field heard it. As a mystic, adept, realm martial artist, the martial arts practice field was filled with martial artists. Anyone who paid attention would be able to hear their words. Furthermore, Wen Qiu's dancing was the most eye-catching sight in the crowd. Anyone who wasn't an idiot could understand what was going on. Only Lin Fei, who was on the stage, sneered. This was called asking for it. Serves him right. Bastard. The one clan leader, Iron Mountain, was furious. The one clan was on the brink of death. A disciple of the clan actually found someone to kill an outsider helper. If they didn't give an explanation for today's matter, it would inevitably disappoint and dissatisfy the other outsiders. Take them away. Investigate who is the mastermind behind all of this. Immediately, an elder stood up and grabbed one in each hand. Like an eagle catching a chick, he left the training field, leaving behind a scene of fear. The patriarch was furious. Lin Fei came down from the arena in anger. In reality, this was all an act for the Wen family to see. As a matter of fact, as soon as they descended, one of the elders from the Wen clan apologized and asked for Lin Fei's forgiveness. Master Shuangmu, the Wen clan will definitely give you an answer for what happened today. The elder of the Wen clan was also embarrassed. Please don't be offended, Master Shuangmu. Lin Fei said angrily, I believe that this is a unique situation in the Wen family. Otherwise, I wouldn't have accepted the invitation to help. The elder of the Wen family finally let out a sigh of relief. Thank you, Grandmaster Shuangmu, for understanding our difficulties. As the family grows, there are bound to be some small problems. Please forgive us, Grandmaster Shuangmu. After obtaining a qualification, Lin Fei left the martial arts practice field. What did Master Shuangmu say? As soon as the Wen family elder returned, the other elders asked anxiously, wanting to know the situation. Based on the performance in the arena today, the elders of the Wind clan had a good impression of him and thought that he was the ideal choice. Master Shuang, Mu has a good temper. I believe that we can handle this matter well. It shouldn't have too much impact, the Wind clan elder said slowly after a moment of silence. Investigate. We must find out the truth. We must give Master Shuang Mu an explanation. Was it when Rushua the one who invited Master Shuang Mu? Let her go over to express her gratitude and try not to leave a bad impression. The elders realized the seriousness of the situation. Iron Mountain, as his name suggested, had a very tough temper. To be frank, he was stubborn and unyielding. We must investigate Wen Tianya and Wen Qiu's problems, no matter who is behind this. We must find out this time and punish them severely. When Iron Mountain's gaze swept across the crowd, I don't want to see anyone exonerate them. The hearts of the elders sank, and the germinating idea was suppressed. The latter words were clearly directed at the elders present. The patriarch was angry. Whoever dared to play the good guy in this matter would end up badly. First, the patriarch would find trouble with them. It's hard to help people do good things. Back at his residence, Lin Fei shook his head, extremely dissatisfied. At this point, he could not just turn around and leave. Everything had a beginning and an end, and he had to do it well. Lin Fei carried such a mentality. Hiss hiss. In the residence, the little thing and King Kong strolled out. King Kong was born to be bullied. The little thing was lying on King Kong's head, and King Kong was drooping. A dignified, mystic spirit, great perfection, demonic beast, was bullied like this. It dared not say a word, and there was no second one like it. Lin Fei took out a handful of pure elemental pills and placed them on the bedside. The little thing appeared on the bedside as if it was eating jelly beans, causing King Kong to look at it enviously. This was not the first time Lin Fei had seen the scene. King Kong, this is yours. His pocket was bulging, and there were not many people who could use pure elemental pills to feed demonic beasts. After settling the matter with the Wind family, I will return to Origin City. I can help. A hoarse and cold voice came from the mouth of a skinny old man. Li Qiu was sitting in a dark room. Squeak, 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 squeak. The sounds of demonic beasts could be heard from time to time. Find the person, and the Li family will immediately send the things you need. Li Qiu said sinisterly. Coupled with the dark and gloomy environment, it made people feel a chill, as if this kind of person was born to live in the dark world. Then let's begin. The person sitting in front of him was the famous Rat King in the Imperial City. Rat King was not a human, but a mutated rodent demonic beast. As for what kind of species, no one knew for now. When a demonic beast reached a certain level of strength, or after consuming elixirs, it could transform into a human. After transforming, the rodent species retained many of the demonic beast's habits. For example, this underground cave was the favorite place of the rodent species. Even though the Rat King had successfully transformed, he still retained the habits of a rodent, and for 365 days a year, he basically hid in the underground cave. The reason why the Rat King was famous was actually very simple. This Rat King had a magical power that could find people based on their aura. Even a wisp of aura could not escape the Rat King's tracking magical power. With this magical power, the Rat King was doing very well in the Imperial City. Coupled with the timid, cautious, and greedy rodents, the Rat King had survived until now. If you can't find the whereabouts of this person, don't even think about getting a piece of profound spirit stone. If you dare to leak the news, this elder believes that the Rat King will definitely understand. The Rat King nodded. A trace of dissatisfaction flashed in his eyes. Humph! If this king makes a move, as long as he is still within the Imperial City, he will definitely not be able to escape from this king's palm. Li Qiu said coldly, "It's good that you understand." Li Qiu took out a jade bottle and handed it to the Rat King. The Rat King opened the bottle, and a black mist floated out. The mustache man's beard moved without any wind. He opened his mouth and sucked, like a long rainbow sucking water, and swallowed it into his stomach. Magical power, 1,000 miles search. The Rat King shouted, and a black shadow appeared behind him. One could vaguely see that it was a rodent. It had a huge body, shifty eyes, and looked around. It was very lifelike. As expected of the title, Rat King! The shadow Rat King actually spoke. "You flatter me, you flatter me." There was a sense of pride in his tone. "Escape." The Rat King moved and blended into the darkness, leaving the underground cave. The mustache man jumped up and down, and he headed towards the Imperial City. "He is in the Imperial City," the Rat King said to Li Qiu. The reason why the Rat King could do so well was because he had such a magical power. The black shadow from before was a clone that the Rat King had practiced. This doppelganger was not a real doppelganger, but a special kind of rat-type demonic beast. Once it was mastered, it had never failed to find anyone within 1,000 miles. A stern look flashed across Li Qiu's face. "Rat King, as long as you find the person today, the Li family will not let you suffer. This elder can help you put in a good word for you in front of the patriarch, and it will not be difficult for you to become the Li family's guest in the future. Let's talk about the future in the future." The Rat King shook his head. Li Qiu thought, insensible thing. Lin Fei sat cross-legged, comprehending the Wind Dao. After stepping into this Dao, Lin Fei liked to practice when he was free. In the large room, the cool breeze was gentle, and the cold wind was fierce, entangling with each other. They were inseparable, 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 inseparable. You and me, you and me. The practice of Wind Dao did not cause any harm to the little thing and King Kong. The little thing was lying on the bed, looking satisfied. Hiss, hiss. Suddenly, the little thing opened its eyes. It turned around and actually appeared on the table. "Little thing, what's wrong?" Lin Fei stopped, curious about what the little thing was going to do. The little thing appeared again, landing on Lin Fei's shoulder, biting his clothes, looking outside, looking very excited. "You want me to go out?" Lin Fei could guess some of the little thing's thoughts, and could not help but ask, "If you were on Earth, you would definitely think that you are a fool." In the Xiantian continent, beasts were undoubtedly the smartest, followed by mutated beasts. Hiss, hiss. The little thing nodded. Lin Fei kept King Kong into the pet space, opened the door, and walked out. "Tell Wenruxiue that I have something to do, so I will leave first." Leaving behind a sentence, under the surprised gaze of the two maids, he disappeared without a trace at the entrance of the small courtyard. After leaving the door, Lin Fei let the little thing choose how to go. Fortunately, he often reminded it, and the little thing knew that its identity was not ordinary, so it would not use teleportation in broad daylight. The imperial capital was very big. Gloomy, deserted alleys were everywhere. Even in the daytime, there were still many alleys as dark as night without any sunlight. "Little thing, you didn't go the wrong way, did you?" Being in the alleys, Lin Fei could not help but frown. What was the little thing doing? Could it be that something had happened? As soon as he said that, the little thing disappeared without a trace, making Lin Fei not know whether to laugh or cry. It seemed to be bored. Ready to exercise? He thought of a word, pain in the ass. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The sound of a mouse? Chapter 273. Lin Fei was taken aback. Why would there be the sound of a mouse in the alley? Before he could react, another strange scene appeared in the alley. Lin Fei was dumbfounded. The little thing was actually chasing a mouse, a black mouse. That was not strange. What was strange was that the black rat could actually speak the human language, blowing its whiskers and glaring. "Bastard, get out of here! I'm going to eat you. Damn it! Who raised this demonic beast? Why is it so scary? Damn it, damn it!" In the alley, the little thing moved quickly, jumping up and down as it chased after a mouse. In a panic, it kept spewing vulgarities. A talking mouse. Lin Fei reacted after a moment, but he could not figure out the origin of this mouse. Could it be that the little thing chased me all the way here for this mouse? Since when did the little thing have such an ability? Wind bind. With a thought from Lin Fei, the wind was like a rope interweaving into a large net. It appeared in front of the mouse and formed a cage, trapping it in a narrow area. After comprehending the wind Tao, it was no longer limited to forms. Ah, who is it? Who is it that wants to go against me? The Rat King cursed. After chasing from outside the capital all the way to the capital, it was inexplicably chased by a small demonic beast. Under normal circumstances, the Rat King could have easily killed the other party. However, the other party had a strong defense, and its hard teeth and claws could not tear through the other party's defense. It had completely become a toothless tiger. That was why such a scene had occurred. Hiss! The little thing pounced over and grabbed the Rat King, with its sharp claws, pinning it to the ground. Bastard, you bastard! How dare you touch me? I'll make you regret it for the rest of your life. After being trapped by the wind rope, the Rat King's heart fell to the bottom. Similarly, the Rat King saw the young man in the distance. The little thing behind could not wait any longer. It opened its mouth and bit down. Even the Rat King did not have time to react, and it looked like it was about to be sucked away. Don't eat me. I'm not tasty at all. The Rat King phantom struggled, but it was of no use. It was swallowed by the little thing. At the same time, the real Rat King spat out a mouthful of blood. Damn demonic beasts! Damn humans! The Rat King opened his eyes. He looked dispirited, as if he had been seriously injured. What happened? Li Qiu had been waiting the entire time, and when he saw the situation, he was also shocked. With his strength, he could clearly feel that the aura of the Rat King had weakened a lot, and without seeing the shadow return, he could roughly guess what had happened. The Rat King said angrily, "My doppelganger was eaten by a demon beast." What? Li Qiu was shocked. Eaten by the demon beasts? How was this possible? Could it be that he encountered a powerful demonic beast? Rat King had a tragic look on his face. It was a very weak, demonic beast. This king couldn't do anything to it, especially when it encountered a powerful human who used a wind attribute cultivation technique. This king suffered greatly. Li Qiu's face darkened. So you're saying things have been messed up, and we can't use our sacred art during this period of time? Rat King nodded. Elder Li Qiu, it's not that I don't want to help you. My avatar was eaten by the demon beast, and I met a powerful human. This king had no other choice. Li Qiu wanted to curse out loud. Why did you insist on going in the day? Isn't that clearly courting death? Don't you know that there are a lot of demon beasts in the imperial capital during the day? Coming out from the underground cave, Li Qiu's expression was very bad, and he thought to himself, the trail is broken, and I can only know that the person is in the imperial capital. The imperial capital is so big, how can I find him? It's all that Li Yang kid's fault. He won a weapon that is suspected to be a profound heaven's spiritual treasure, but he didn't know to send it back to the family first, and instead gave it to an outsider. Li Yang was a genius disciple of the Li family. Among the many geniuses, he could not be considered a top genius. After losing one, with the Li family's current resources, it was not difficult to cultivate another one. The profound heaven's spiritual treasure was the key. In the Xiantian continent, weapons were generally divided into mortal weapons. This level had the most weapons. The next level was the spirit treasure, which had the power of a spirit treasure. Above the spirit treasure was the true treasure. A true treasure had boundless power. Even if a profound spirit expert held it in their hands, even a profound king expert would not dare to easily attack it. As for above the true treasure, it was the profound heaven's spiritual treasure, and the profound heaven's spiritual treasure was the most powerful existence in the Xiantian continent. a treasure that was suspected to be a profound heaven spiritual treasure. No matter if it was real or fake, the Leaf family could not sit still. The reason why they mobilized so many people was because of the profound heaven spiritual treasure. Li Chiu sighed. Rat King is injured. The matter of the profound heaven spiritual treasure can only be delayed. Inside the underground cave, Rat King had a face of disdain. Serves the Leaf family right for being unlucky. Isn't it just a profound heaven spiritual treasure? Do you think this king doesn't know? Do you really think everyone is a group of idiots? I really don't know who is the idiot here. In the small alley, the little thing once again lay on Lin Fei's shoulder. Why are you going out again? The little thing on his shoulder rolled its eyes, constantly looking outside the imperial capital. Lin Fei originally wanted to keep the rat's demon beast to ask it where it came from, but it was eaten by the little thing in a few bites. For the demon beast, just now. Hiss, hiss. The little thing became excited again. Looking at the sky, Lin Fei also had a doubt in his heart. Why would there be a talking demon beast in the imperial capital? Even his King Kong could not speak at the moment. Lin Fei guessed that the demon beast just now should have come from outside the imperial capital. If there was such a demon beast in the imperial capital, it would have been captured long ago. Listening to the other party's tone, it kept talking about this king. Could it be a king-level demon beast? That's impossible, right? If a king-level demon beast appeared in the vicinity of the imperial capital, the entire imperial capital would probably panic. A profound spirit realm demon beast was already strong enough. Anyone who saw a king-level demon beast did not need to think about anything. They just needed to run. After coming out of the imperial capital and traveling for a few hundred miles, Lin Fei followed the direction that the little thing pointed out and continuously moved through the forest, gradually leaving the imperial capital. After about 700 to 800 miles, the sky darkened, and unknowingly it was nighttime. Why are there so many rats? When he arrived at an area, Lin Fei stopped on a tree and extended his perception outwards. He immediately saw that the ground was full of caves, all of which were low-level iron rats. This kind of iron rat was not strong, but its strength lay in its pair of teeth, which had a particularly strong biting ability. It could even bite off a piece of iron ore, which made the iron rat famous, and at the same time added the title of a destroyer. This kind of low-level iron rat demon beast was not strong, at most around the 4th or 5th level of the martial Dao. If you were surrounded by a group of iron rats, even an expert could bite you to death. Could it really be a king-level demon beast? After the little thing came to this area, it looked around and quickly locked the direction, leaving from Lin Fei's shoulder. Lin Fei followed behind. Squeak, squeak, squeak. As they continued to go deeper, many rodent demon beasts appeared. The low-level iron rats were no longer just one of them. There were all kinds of rodent demon beasts gathered in this area. When Lin Fei broke in, the rodent demon beasts launched an attack and rushed up one after another. Lin Fei smiled bitterly. This little thing really knew how to cause trouble. Don't encounter a king-level demon beast. Wind bind. It was the same move as before. The rodent demon beasts that rushed up almost couldn't rush to Lin Fei. They were all trapped by the wind, leaving behind angry sounds. At this time, Lin Fei was worried about the little thing and was anxious to catch up to see what was going on, but he was afraid that the continuous killing would attract a large number of rodent demon beasts, which would be equivalent to delaying him. Lin Fei chose to let go of the rodent demon beasts. He went in. After leaving a large forest, at the foot of the mountain there was a huge cave which made Lin Fei frown. From the left and right, many huge rodent demon beasts suddenly flew out and rushed to Lin Fei, opening their mouths and biting down. The ferocious aura made people dare not underestimate them, courting death. In the sky, densely packed black shadows stabbed down. All of them were long sword phantoms, piercing the heads of the rodent demon beasts, smashing their heads on the spot. The rodent demon beasts that rushed up died under Lin Fei's sword, and at the same time he successfully rushed in. After entering the cave, all he saw were white bones, among which there were some human skulls, pale white in color, looking extremely ferocious in the black. It shouldn't be a king-level demon beast. After rushing in, Lin Fei sensed the existence of the little thing. Inside the cave there was a chilly wind. It was obviously a pure-een place. The rodent demon beasts guarding inside were obviously much stronger than outside. There were some mystic, adept demon beasts. If it was someone else who came in, they would definitely regret coming in. After Lin Fei comprehended the Wind Dao, his strength increased again. As he rushed down, he almost left a ground full of corpses, and the smell of blood filled the air. Bastard, you ate my clone, and you still dare to come again. I will eat you. At the end of the cave, there was a furious voice. Demon beast? It was a familiar voice. Lin Fei immediately recalled the sound of the rodent being eaten in the alley. He didn't expect that it was just a clone. Storm. Boom, 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 boom. Almost all the demon beasts in front were killed. At the end of the cave, there was a huge building. It was like the buildings in the imperial capital outside, except it had a gloomy aura. At this moment, there was a black-robed old man. He was as skinny as firewood. His demonic aura was soaring, constantly filling the cave. The Rat King was originally recuperating. He needed time to recover after losing a clone. After half a day, that unknown demon beast appeared again, and he almost got ambushed. His heart was filled with resentment. Hiss, hiss. The little thing teleported and appeared on Lin Fei's shoulder. The Rat King was dazed for a second and then burst into laughter. Ha ha! No wonder you could eat my doppelganger. It turns out that you are a space beast, a juvenile one. After eating your demonic beast, I will definitely become a mutated demonic beast. However, the Rat King sniffed, his eyes turned, and saw a young man appear. He suddenly came to a realization. You are the one who killed the Li family's disciple and stole the Mystic Sky spiritual treasure. The Rat King laughed maniacally. Children, kill them. Kill this human. The Rat King ordered. This king will soon become a great demon, and the strongest great demon. Ha ha ha. Chapter 274. Arcane Heavenly Spiritual Treasure? Could it be that killing sword? What an awesome name. Lin Fei couldn't digest the sudden news. A memory surfaced in his mind. His clone had been lurking in the 8 Treasures Tower that night. He vaguely remembered that there was a long sword being auctioned at the auction. That's right, it was a spiritual treasure whose grade couldn't be determined. At that time, someone participated in the auction, and the bidding was very intense. As he couldn't go to the private room, Lin Fei could only vaguely remember the situation and nothing else. After hearing this, he immediately understood the origin of the killing sword. A moment later, a tide of rodent demonic beasts rushed towards Lin Fei's position. Let's get rid of this demonic beast first. I might be able to get more information. Lin Fei patted his waist, and King Kong, who had been in the pet space, appeared outside. It was drowsy, but when it saw the large number of rodent-type demonic beasts, its eyes widened, and a berserk aura surged out like a tide. King Kong was a King Kong divine ape with a noble bloodline. Although it wasn't as good as the little thing, it was still a powerful, mutated demonic beast. How could the rodent demonic beasts resist a little bit of its aura? As soon as the aura of the guardian deity was released, the rat-type demonic beasts that were surging forward like a tide paused for a moment, as if they felt an irresistible pressure. All of them lay on the ground and shivered, not daring to move. The rodent demonic beasts were densely packed like a sea wave. Roar! King Kong was usually bullied by the little thing, but that didn't mean that it would continue to act like a coward in front of other demonic beasts. This roar was like venting his emotions, venting his dissatisfaction from before. Many of the demonic beasts lying on the ground were scared to death on the spot. Other than that, the rest of the demonic beasts fled in panic, wishing that they could have more legs. After coming out of the demonic beast mountain range, King Kong finally had a place to vent his anger. With a roar, the rodent demonic beasts died. With a roar, the rodent demonic beasts were scared out of their wits. With a roar, the king of rats was covered in cold sweat. Mystic spirit, great perfection. As a demonic beast, the king of rats was immediately covered in cold sweat and screamed. One demonic beast was already rare and precious. In the blink of an eye, another mystic spirit, great perfection, appeared. It would be strange if it wasn't afraid. King Kong, kill them! Lin Fei snorted coldly and ordered his best fighter, Jin Gang, to make a move. Roar! In the blink of an eye, the miniature Vajra had transformed into a 3-meter-tall Vajra divine ape. It shone brightly and brandished the iron cudgel in its hand. With a swing of the cudgel, countless rat-type demonic beasts died. A strike from a mystic spirit, great circle cultivator, was something that no one could block at all. Roar! With another swing of the club, a huge gust of wind flew over and killed a large group of rat-type demonic beasts. You, who exactly are you? The Rat King was already sweating profusely from fear. He was no match for a mystic spirit, full circle demonic beast at all. To go against a mystic spirit, full circle demonic beast was simply asking for death. It doesn't matter who I am. What matters is that you're doomed. Lin Fei looked at the Rat King and sneered. He finally realized the benefits of having a helper by his side. Bang! The Rat King was sent flying with a loud bang. He couldn't even escape, let alone block it. Run! The Rat King was also a mystic spirit demonic beast, but he was no match for the powerful Vajra. He might not even be able to block a single blow, and was sent flying. With a squeak, the Rat King turned around and fled. The Rat King transformed from his human form into a demonic beast. It was a huge black rat with 3 strands of white whiskers on its chin. It dashed towards a passage on the side. Even though the Rat King had transformed into a human form, he still inherited the habits of rats. When faced with great danger, his first thought was to escape. This was the habit of rats. How could Lin Fei let the Rat King escape? Especially when the other party had heard about the mystic spirit treasure. How could he let it go so easily? Wind net. A wind net appeared in front of the Rat King, blocking the Rat King's path. Rat form, 100 transformations. With a loud bang, the Rat King split into hundreds and thousands of clones and ran in all directions. As expected of the Rat King, he knew how to run in all directions and create a diversion to confuse the enemy. If it was the previous Lin Fei, he might not have been able to do anything. After comprehending the Wind Dao, his control over the Dao had increased tremendously. The huge wind net surrounded every clone of the Rat King, not letting any of them escape. Boom! Vajra was enraged. A mere demonic beast dared to escape from under his nose. This time, after being trapped by Lin Fei, the Rat King was sent flying with a swing of the rod. The Rat King spat out mouthfuls of blood, and his face was filled with horror. Trap! The willow-like wind strands trapped the Rat King firmly in an instant. Swish! Swish! The netherworld sword flew out and stopped in front of the Rat King. It was only a few inches away from the Rat King's throat, and it could kill the other party at any time. Vajra grabbed the Rat King firmly. No matter how the Rat King struggled, he couldn't escape from Vajra's huge palm. Let this king go! Quickly let this king go! The Rat King shouted. As a mystic spirit demonic beast, it fell into the hands of others so easily and became a prisoner. This time, the Rat King lost without any regrets. Just Vajra alone was enough to make the Rat King lose. With Lin Fei beside him, no matter how the Rat King moved or tried to escape, he couldn't escape. If you scream again, I will kill you immediately, Lin Fei said to the Rat King. At the same time, the netherworld sword approached again, scaring the Rat King into screaming, "Don't kill me! Don't kill me!" At this moment, the Rat King didn't have the bearing of a mystic spirit expert. He displayed the timidity of a rodent demonic beast to the fullest. Vajra carried the Rat King out of the underground cave. The aura of a mystic spirit, great perfection, demonic beast, just now might attract experts. Rat King, don't think about escaping. I believe Vajra won't mind beating you to death. Lin Fei said calmly. Vajra waved the rod beside him. It looked like he was going to say something. If you dare to do anything, I will beat you to death. The Rat King lay on the ground shivering. What kind of luck did he have today? How could he be so miserable? What do you want to know? This king know. I will tell you everything. The Rat King kowtowed again and again. He didn't want to be beaten to death by this Vajra godly ape. How do you know that I am the murderer? Lin Fei hugged the little guy. This guy was moving around, and it was obvious that it knew what it wanted to do. Lin Fei wondered if he should do something first. The Rat King rolled his eyes. Vajra next to him hit him with the rod. The Rat King squeaked in pain and didn't dare to do anything else. If it was a human martial artist, he would have been beaten to death. The Rat King only rolled on the ground in pain. The Li family told me. The Rat King stammered. They asked me to find the culprit. Today, I used a doppelganger. You know what happened next. A cold light flashed in Lin Fei's eyes. So, the Li family knows my whereabouts. Don't know, completely don't know. The Rat King shook his head. You ate my doppelganger. I didn't say anything. Lin Fei breathed a sigh of relief and couldn't help but feel grateful to the little thing. If it wasn't for the little thing's help, he wouldn't have known that someone had found a clue and was almost targeted. Lin Fei was indeed grateful for his good luck. The Li family's power is not simple. They even found this. Lin Fei felt that he didn't leave any clues after killing people in the imperial capital. He didn't expect that the Li family had the means to find this out and almost traced it back to him. How do you know that the profound heavenly spiritual treasure is on me? Don't tell me you don't know. Lin Fei really wanted to know more about the profound heavenly spiritual treasure. It was never wrong to know more about it, especially since it could devour other profound heavenly spiritual treasures. For this reason, Lin Fei wouldn't miss it. The Rat King tried to play tricks several times, but Lin Fei didn't need to do anything. King Kong was the first to act. With such a fighter around, even if the demonic beast had a strong defense, it wouldn't be able to take it. By asking this question, Lin Fei wanted to confirm his guess. That night, the doppelganger didn't know much and wanted to know more. In the alley, it was afraid that someone would see through it, so it used the metal intent realm, which was extremely destructive. The killing sword fell from the body of the Leaf family's disciple, but Lin Fei didn't know it. Who asked him to kill so quickly? When the killing sword was found, the corpse couldn't be identified. At that time, the whole alley was full of corpse fragments. Because the Li family's disciple died, the Li family invited a master of the runes to recover the situation that night. Only then did they know that you took the profound, heavenly spiritual treasure. The Rat King said timidly. Lin Fei suddenly understood and thought, this master of the runes must have some skills. He must have mastered a special formation. Fortunately, the doppelganger covered its face that night. Otherwise, it would be really troublesome. This rune's formation is really troublesome. So the killing sword was bought by Liang. This good thing almost fell into someone else's hands. Then, how do you know that the Li family believes that it's a profound, heavenly spiritual treasure? Lin Fei asked. You are the leader of the rats. I believe you must know something that I don't. I hope you can tell me everything. Rats have their ways. Lin Fei believed that this Rat King knew many secrets, especially after seeing the controlled rat demonic beast. Lin Fei wasn't a fool. This was obviously a huge information net. The Rat King said to Lin Fei, if I tell you, can you promise not to kill me? Why would I kill you? Lin Fei smiled and said, I won't kill you. On the contrary, I will let you go. You and I have no enmity. The Rat King sneered in his heart. Originally, we had no enmity. But when your demonic beast ate this king's doppelganger, the hatred between us grew. Of course, the Rat King didn't dare to say this out loud. Since the day he became the Rat King, he had never experienced such a suffocating day. A mutated demonic beast stared at him, another mutated beast stared at him, and a ridiculously powerful young man stared at him. I'll tell you now, the Rat King hurriedly said. He was afraid that the rod would fall. He didn't want to experience that kind of pain a second time. You also know that I control a large number of similar demonic beasts. I know some of the secrets of the imperial capital. It is said that the Li family has a support-type, profound, heavenly spiritual treasure. When the profound, heavenly spiritual treasure appears in a certain range, that profound, heavenly spiritual treasure will move. A doubt arose in Lin Fei's heart. It seems a little impossible, right? The Rat King explained that profound, heavenly spiritual treasure is a defective product. It can only be used once a month. After using it, it must accumulate energy before it can be used the next month. This time, Lin Fei completely understood. Then, Lin Fei asked some other questions. He almost heard all the valuable information from the Rat King. Gui's worry, Elder Li Qiu. Lin Fei didn't like the Li family, especially when he was chased by them. Although he successfully got rid of them later, it was a very unpleasant feeling. This is a good opportunity. Let's get rid of an elder of the Li family first, so that they can feel sorry for him. Also, there's that runes formation. Lin Fei immediately made a decision. This was especially true for the runic array master. Although he didn't know what kind of formation was set up, this kind of person couldn't be left alive. He didn't know when he would be discovered. Now, immediately inform that Gui's worry Elder Li Qiu. Tell him that you have found an important clue. Remind that Elder Li Qiu to bring that runes formation master over. How could the Rat King dare to say the word no? It was better for others to die than to die himself. Imperial capital. Gui's worry Elder Li Qiu was looking at a note and frowning. What is going on? Why did the Rat King inform this elder in a hurry? Did he find some clues? Did he find the whereabouts of the mastermind? Li Qiu had always been thinking about the family. Whatever. Li Qiu stood up. The Rat King can't let himself come here for nothing. Thus, Li Qiu found Shang Kong, and the two of them went to see the Rat King together. They wanted to see what the Rat King had to say. If he came here for nothing, Li Qiu didn't mind teaching the Rat King a lesson. Li Qiu never took the profound spirit realm seriously, especially a demon beast that wasn't good at attacking. If it was a demon beast that mainly attacked, Li Qiu might be a little afraid. Facing the Rat King, he really didn't need to care, not to mention that he had a family behind him. Why did the Rat King change places? Coming out of the imperial capital, he originally thought that he was going to the base camp, but unexpectedly he changed places. Li Qiu's face revealed a displeased expression. He really didn't know what the Rat King was doing. In his heart, he had the idea of torturing the Rat King so that he could teach the Rat King a lesson. Elderly, could the Rat King be playing with us? Shang Kang's soul power hadn't recovered yet. He was already unhappy when Elder Li Qiu invited him out. Li Qiu wasn't sure. Even if that guy had 100 guts, he wouldn't dare to let us come here for nothing. Shang Kong nodded. I hope so. When they entered the designated area, they saw the Rat King sitting on a boulder. Rat King, this elder is here. Can you say it now? Li Qiu looked at the Rat King and waited for the answer. You can go die. Chapter 275. Quick, dodge. This is a profound spirit, great perfection demon beast. Elder Li Qiu was the first to react. His expression changed greatly. He opened his mouth to warn Shang Kong, and at the same time flew out. Li Qiu was fast, but there were also people faster than him. Pa 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 pa. A willow, twig-like wind whip flew down from the sky, whipping Elder Li Qiu's body, shattering his protective aura, and like a kite with its string cut, he was sent flying hundreds of meters away. Revolving Star Passage. Shan Kong was truly worthy of being a runes master, especially a level 5 runes master, who was already proficient in runes formation. At the crucial moment, his entire body was shrouded in light and runes flashed. Boom! A huge black shadow smashed onto Shan Kang's body. The flowing runes instantly shattered, but even so, it still persisted for a moment. Following the shattering of the light, Shan Kang had already appeared 30 meters away from the city. His face was filled with shock. He was almost beaten to death by the rod. The shocked expression did not disappear, and the second rod smashed down. Danger! Extremely dangerous. Shan Kang used Revolving Star Passage to divert the attack, and had already consumed a lot of his soul's energy, so facing the second rod he was powerless. Rune's Shield. Layer after layer of Rune's Shield was placed on his body in an attempt to block the attack. Boom! Shan Kang was not as lucky as before. As a profound spirit, great perfection demon beast, it was already very impressive for King Kong to be able to block the first attack. Facing the second attack, he did not even need to think about it. The Rune's Shield outside Shan Kang's body, facing the extremely violent attack. When the rod landed on it, the Rune's Shield shattered. His body was originally extremely weak, and was directly smashed into a mist of blood by the rod. Roar! King Kong was extremely proud. Shan Kang is dead. Li Qiu's expression changed greatly. Shan Kang could not even hold on for a few breaths of time, and died so quickly. It was completely out of his imagination and expectations. A level 5 runes master could at least hold on for a while, and with the two of them working together, surviving was not a problem. Li Qiu, who was sent flying, was covered in blood. Other than the profound armor that appeared on his important parts, protecting his vital parts, his injuries were not very serious. Run! A great perfection stage demon beast. Li Qiu was already scared out of his wits. On the Xiantian continent, demonic beasts were generally stronger than human martial artists. Li Qiu's strength had reached the late profound spirit stage, but against a great perfection profound spirit demonic beast, he would definitely be killed within 10 moves. Just who is this person? Why does he have a mystic spirit, great, circle, demonic beast? There has never been such a person in the imperial capital before. Li Qiu was filled with questions. Wind bundle. The wind was like an inescapable net, and the huge ball cut off all the exits. Li Qiu's heart sank. He patted his waist with his right hand, and a silver long blade flew out, carrying the aura of a spirit treasure. It was Li Qiu's middle grade spirit treasure, the heavenly Luo blade. Nirvana blade art. A mystic spirit, great perfection demonic beast, was already terrifying enough. Adding on a powerful human martial artist, Li Qiu had no choice but to risk his life. Whoosh! When the blade aura struck the wind net, a large part of the wind net was torn apart. Li Qiu was overjoyed. It was only SO. In the next second, Li Qiu was mercilessly attacked. Layers upon layers of wind nets gathered once again, forcefully blocking in front of them. It was vast and boundless, completely cutting off their path of retreat. Pa pa pa! As a mystic spirit, great perfection demonic beast, King Kong had an absolute advantage in terms of speed, not to mention that it was dealing with Li Qiu, who was at the late stage of mystic spirit. The sound of the explosive strike seemed as though the air was about to be broken. Li Qiu's profound armor was shattered. Forget about the protective aura. He was smashed into the ground by King Kong and lost completely. From start to finish, it was only a short period of time before the battle ended. Back then, I received a lot of benefits from taking in King Kong. From the beginning to the end, Lin Fei did not make a move, other than delaying his opponent's path. King Kong's attack power was truly terrifying. Li Qiu, who was at the late stage of mystic spirit, lost completely, and could not even block a single move. Lin Fei could not help but rejoice. Why did he have such a thought in the first place? King Kong grabbed Li Qiu and jumped out from the ground. With its tyrannical strength, all of Li Qiu's meridians were broken, and his limbs were almost gone. If not for Lin Fei wanting to ask about the situation, Li Qiu would already be dead. Elder Li Qiu, using this method to meet you is not something I am willing to do. Unfortunately, there is no other way. I have never liked your Li family. Lin Fei descended from the tree and appeared in front of Li Qiu. At this time, Li Qiu's hair was disheveled, like a beggar. He was on the verge of death, and looked like he was not far from death. You are Lin Fei. Li Qiu opened his eyes with great difficulty, and could not help but be shocked. Then he could not help but laugh bitterly. No wonder Liang died. No wonder there was a dense metal-type energy left at the scene. So it was you? Cough, cough, cough. Li Qiu spat out blood. He understood everything. Li Qiu recognized him. Lin Fei was very calm. Seems like my name is quite famous in your Li family. Even the elders of the Li family have remembered it. Li Qiu stared straight at Lin Fei. You have guts. Lin Fei squatted down. If I don't have guts, how could I ambush you? Now, I want to know a few questions. I hope you can answer them. Li Qiu said coldly, Do you think that's possible? Lin Fei shrugged his shoulders. If you are not willing, I will immediately let King Kong eat you. Rip scoot. King Kong licked the corner of his mouth. Every expert had a weakness. No one was perfect. Without a weakness, it was because he had not discovered it. Li Qiu's weakness was actually the fear of being eaten by demon beasts. Watching himself being eaten was the most terrifying thing. Li Qiu's face darkened once again. I'll speak. After the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Lin Fei found out the information he wanted from Elder Li Qiu. Just as Li Qiu had said, Lin Fei was already on the Li family's list and was temporarily suppressed. The Li family's main focus was on searching for the Profound Sky Spirit Treasure. Lin Fei had heard a little about the Profound Sky Spirit Treasure and knew a little more than the Rat King. The situation was not far from the truth. Profound Sky Spirit Treasure. Should I go take a look? Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. The killing sword swallowed the Profound Sky Spirit Treasure and increased its power. If it swallowed another one, what would it be like? Lin Fei could not think of it, but at the very least he understood that the killing sword would definitely become a weapon. Unfortunately, the Li family is powerful, with a profound king rancor guarding it. It is not easy to snatch the Profound Sky Spirit Treasure away. Lin Fei shook his head. We'll talk about this later. Li Qiu stared straight at Lin Fei. Lin Fei, you are indeed very daring. If you dare to go to the Li family to steal the innate spirit treasure, you will definitely be beaten to death by the old ancestor. Lin Fei raised his head and laughed. That might not be the case, but I know that you will die tonight. Crack! King Kong's huge palm slapped Li Qiu's head, causing his body to turn into a ball of blood mist with a bang, and a large amount of things exploded out. Damn, who asked you to kill him with a single slap? Lin Fei was speechless. At least he had such a heavy taste to be covered in blood. King Kong grinned, his eyes clearly carrying a playful smile. Damn it, it was intentional. Lin Fei wondered if he should go back and be confined or something. Go. Seeing the little thing's impatient look, Lin Fei patted the little thing's head. What are you doing? Don't come over. The Rat King was already drenched in cold sweat from fright. He struggled with all his might, sometimes in human form, sometimes in demonic beast form. The little thing flew over. Its originally small mouth had actually turned into a large black hole, swallowing the Rat King in one gulp. It let out a satisfied burp, causing Lin Fei to be dumbstruck. This mouth. As for King Kong, he was so scared that he shrunk his nose and gestured at his own body, a glutton. Lin Fei finally spat out such a sentence. The little thing could not be bothered to care about what was a glutton and what wasn't. It laid on Lin Fei's shoulder and slept happily. A mutated demonic beast was eaten just like that. If outsiders knew about this, they would probably jump up and scold him for being a prodigal. Lin Fei was indeed a prodigal. Who would dare to eat a mutated demonic beast? Lin Fei picked up the spoils of war on the ground. Other than the Heaven Luo blade, there were also tens of thousands of pure essence pills, a pretty good harvest. It's a pity that this rune's master does not have that mysterious formation. Lin Fei shook his head after a round of inspection, feeling very disappointed. Other than some pure essence pills, most of them were runes, 2 of which were level 4 and level 5 runes. There's so many poor people in a place like the imperial capital. Just because you are strong doesn't mean that you have things in your pockets. You are not as good as a playboy who has a lot of pockets. Lin Fei was very disappointed. He was in a good mood after killing an elder of the Li clan, a late cryptic spirit expert, and a level 5 runes master. The Li clan would be in a state of panic for a period of time again. I can't fight the Li clan, but it's not a problem to torment you guys. Unless that old ancestor intervenes. Otherwise, Lin Fei really has nothing to worry about. That night, Lin Fei returned to the small courtyard of the Wen clan and quietly avoided everyone. No one knew that he had returned. The next morning, Lin Fei came out of his room, scaring the 2 maids. They were afraid that one of them did not serve him well. After practicing a set of fist techniques and stretching his body, Lin Fei sat down and wiped the sweat off his forehead. The maid came in from outside and said in a crisp voice, "Miss Wen is here." At the door, when Ru Xue and Guan Mingchang walked in, other than the 2 of them, there was also an elder of the Wen clan. "Young hero Lin, did you sleep well last night?" Lin Fei nodded. "I slept very well. Thank you for your concern, elder." The elder who came, Lin Fei recognized him. He was an elder called Wen Xiaoru, middle cryptic spirit expert. His strength was not bad among the elders, and he was a core elder. The Wen clan had inner and outer elders. Outer elders did not have much power. They were equivalent to honorary headmasters on Earth. At most, they had an extra hat or something. Inner elders were elders like Wen Xiaoru. They all relied on their strength and had a certain amount of power in the clan. Outer sect elders had to be polite when they saw them. The Wen clan arranged for an inner elder. Lin Fei understood what it was about. It must be about last night. After sitting down, Wen Xiaoru said apologetically, "Young hero Lin, we have investigated yesterday's matter. The fault is all on the 2 disciples. Today, we specially brought them here. Young hero can decide how to deal with them." The show was about to start. At the door, 2 guards brought Wen Tianya and Wen Xiao in. The 2 of them were dejected and their faces were ashen. They must have suffered a lot last night and were no longer in high spirits. Plop! The 2 of them knelt on the ground unwillingly. "What are you standing there for?" Wen Xiaoru said solemnly. The internal reaction of the Wen clan was extremely bad for what happened yesterday. They had to deal with it. "We were wrong. We don't dare to find someone to deal with you." The 2 of them raised their hands and slapped their own faces. Pa 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 pa. The sounds continued to ring out incessantly. Chapter 276. The Wen family is too stingy. No wonder they are getting worse every year. Damn it. What's the big deal about a project? Lin Fei shook his head. He wasn't satisfied with the way the Wen family handled things. If he wasn't strong enough, he wouldn't have ended up well against that assassin. He would either be severely injured or killed. After this is done, I'll leave. Family, they are all the same. Nothing's different. I'm still living a carefree life. Lin Fei made up his mind immediately. It would be better if the elder of the Wen family told him the outcome. However, he had to be the bad guy. This made Lin Fei extremely unhappy. What Lin Fei wanted was the result, not this kind of thing for show. He was unhappy, extremely unhappy. Wen Tianya and Wen Qiu knelt on the ground. In just a moment, their faces were swollen. Even a familiar person might not be able to recognize them. After the time for an incense to burn, Lin Fei said, "Forget it. I believe they know their mistakes." When Xiaoru scolded them, "Hurry up and thank young hero Lin. If it was Elder Win, he would have slapped you two to death. How could you do such a heinous thing? Thank you for your forgiveness, young hero Lin. Thank you for your mercy. We won't do it again." When Xiaoru said sternly, "What a disgrace. Get out now," the two of them felt as if they had been pardoned. They crawled up from the ground and stumbled out. It was needless to say how miserable they looked. "Young hero Lin, please excuse us." When Xiaoru changed the topic, "The competition for the position of the chief merchant will be held 3 days later. Young hero Lin, please stay for a few more days. Our Wen family will be grateful." Lin Fei promised on the surface, saying that he would definitely not be disappointed, and so on. Elder Wen Xiaoru came and left quickly, leaving Wen Ruxu and Guan Mingchang behind. Lin Fei wasn't an inexperienced person. He understood why Elder Wen Xiaoru brought the two of them over. It was to ease up on what happened yesterday. "Miss Wen, you don't have to feel guilty about what happened yesterday. I won't care about the behavior of individual villains." Lin Fei took the initiative to mention it. When Ruxue actually didn't want to come over, even when Ruxue herself was very sad about what happened yesterday. The clan was on the brink of extinction, yet the clan's disciples were still scheming against each other, almost causing a huge disaster. "It should be our Wen family that has wronged you." When Ruxue shook her head and said firmly, Lin Fei said to Wen Ruxue, "You don't have to worry about yourself. I will do my best in the Wen family's competition. You don't have to worry that I will lose on purpose." He came out of the small courtyard. Wen Ruxue did not look too good. Elder's way of doing things is indeed wrong. Even I can tell that Lin Fei isn't too happy. Wen Ruxue didn't want to come today. In her eyes, she felt like a clown. "I really don't know what the elders are thinking." Guan Mingchang said regretfully, "Our Wen family is getting worse with each generation. If I were an elder, Wen Tianya and Wen Qiu would definitely punish us severely, and not this kind of superficial effort." Wen Ruxue said, forget it. This is the fate of the Wen family." In the courtyard, even though Lin Fei did not release his perception, he could feel that a large crack had appeared. Senior Master, you have accepted a good disciple, but it's a pity that this family is not strong enough. Even if you help us this time, 10 years later, I'm afraid it will still be difficult." Lin Fei stood up and sighed softly. Perhaps this is the family. At the same time, the Li family was furious once again. The law enforcement hall's elder Li Chou, known as Gue Jianqiu, was actually found dead in the forest outside the imperial capital, and there was even the remnant aura of a profound spirit, great perfection demon beast at the scene. The Li family was shocked. Although they were angry that Li Yang had died, the reason was actually because of the profound sky spirit treasure. They were angry that Li Yang had died outside and helped others. Even if it was a broken, profound sky spirit treasure, no one dared to underestimate it. What made the Li family furious was that someone was clearly targeting the Li family. Ordinary people would not be able to tame a profound spirit, great perfection demon beast, unless it was a king stage expert. If one did not have the strength to tame a profound spirit, great perfection demon beast, it was normal for there to be a backlash. Elder Li Chou was dead, and the loss of a late-stage profound spirit realm expert had a great impact on the Li family. A late-stage mystic master and a late-stage profound spirit realm expert. The difference between the two was huge. The late-stage mystic master Liang was the future hope. Then the late-stage profound spirit realm Li Chou was the core strength of the Li family. Investigate. We must investigate clearly. The current patriarch Li Qingfeng sat in the meeting hall. In the meeting hall, other than the elders, there was no one else. Everyone had a bad expression, and they were all shocked that someone dared to make a move against the Li family. It must be someone from the imperial capital. They have always been jealous of our Li family's position, so they killed Elder Li Chou. This elder suggests that we immediately find a few families to make a move and show them the strength of our Li family, so that they understand that the Li family is not to be provoked. The person who killed Elder Li Chou must have the strength of a profound spirit, great perfection, especially a profound spirit, great perfection demon beast. The person who came must be a king stage expert. We must inform the ancestor. There was silence in the meeting hall. The words king-level expert were enough to move them. A family with a king stage expert would have a heritage of at least 500 years, a true century-old family. Elder Li Chou was killed outside, and it was clearly a king stage expert. In such a situation, they had no choice but to inform the ancestor. Li Qingfeng looked around, and his stern gaze made everyone feel as if there was a cold glint behind their backs. I will personally inform the ancestor about the king stage expert. Li Qingfeng's first sentence confirmed one thing. The king stage expert had his eyes on the Li family, and they had to inform the ancestor. The fight for the position of the chief merchant is about to begin. Pass down the order. We will give them a memorable lesson this year. Li family's back mountain, Li family's forbidden area. Li Qingfeng walked along the mountain path and finally appeared in front of a stone door. He knelt in front of the door and gently knocked on it. Crash! The stone door opened and a cold wind blew. Ancestor, this disciple is useless. The current king stage expert has his eyes on the Li family. It turned out that this back mountain was the Li family's ancestors' seclusion ground. You may leave. Li Qingfeng stood up, turned around, and left respectfully. The stone door closed with a crash. In the depths of the stone door, there was a secret room that could not see the light of day. Kakik, king stage expert. 3 days passed in a flash. Lin Fei spent these 3 days very leisurely, other than absorbing pure essence pills. He rarely left the courtyard. He had never felt so carefree before. Martial arts stage. Lin Fei saw 2 other people, a middle-aged man at the mystic spirit initial stage and a woman at the mystic adept late stage. The 3 of them stood together and got to know each other. Lin Fei then found out that the man was called Zhang Yin and the woman was called Hong Xiazi. After chatting with each other, they got to know each other. Zhang Yin and Hong Xiazi were very polite to Lin Fei. They had seen the battle on the stage that day. This kind of person could not be offended. He could be a friend, but not an enemy. There was already a sense of fear in his heart. The Wen family's elder appeared, and it was the Wen family's great elder Wenlei. He was a domineering elder with sharp eyes. Those who were not strong enough would not dare to look him in the eyes. I am Wenlei, the new great elder of the Wen family. Wenlei said to the 3 of them, there are many changes to the position of the chief merchant this year. The difficulty will be much higher than the previous time. I hope that everyone will be prepared. No matter the result, the Wen family will prepare a generous gift for everyone. Joy flashed in Zhang Yan's eyes. Great elder, what method will we be using this year? The land of fantasy, hunting for demon cores. Wenlei said with a helpless tone, the land of fantasy? Why is there such a place? Zhang Yun and Hong Xiazi's expressions changed drastically. Lin Fei was the only one who didn't know. What kind of place was the land of fantasy that could make the 2 of them so afraid? Great elder Wenlei said, if you want to back out, you can do so now. May I know what kind of place this land of fantasy is? Lin Fei asked great elder Wenlei. Wenlei said, the land of fantasy is a profound, heavenly spiritual treasure of the Tianhai dynasty. It has always been a bloody training ground for the disciples of the Tianhai dynasty. It is extremely dangerous, and disciples often die in there. So it's such a place. After listening, Lin Fei came to a realization. No wonder they were so afraid. The land of fantasy was a dangerous place with a large number of demonic beasts living in it. If it was just hunting for demon cores, theoretically it wouldn't be a big problem, and there was no need to worry. However, the land of fantasy was a separate space of the profound, heavenly spiritual treasure, and there would often be bloody killings in it. Many talented disciples had died in it. The land of fantasy was a place for cultivation, but it was also a place of blood. Especially this time, the land of fantasy was much more dangerous. Even martial artists wouldn't dare to agree to it rashly. This dreamland sounds like a good place, a profound, heavenly spiritual treasures independent space. It looks awesome, and it should be a support-type place. This kind of place is perfect for the Li family's disciples, and let them have a good time. When the time comes, no one will know who did it. When the time comes, the Li family's face will definitely be very ugly. That's right. Previously, Lin Fei was worried about how to deal with the disciples of the Li clan. Now that he had changed to such a good place, he couldn't find another one. He felt like laughing. The imperial capital. The Tianhai fighting arena was the most famous place in Tianhai. The biggest reason why the Tianhai dynasty could become a dynasty was because of the profound heavenly spiritual treasure, the land of fantasy. Since the establishment of the Tianhai dynasty, countless experts had joined the Tianhai dynasty for the sake of entering the land of fantasy to cultivate. Because of this, the Tianhai dynasty had nurtured many experts, and their combat strength was exceptionally strong.